14. Yep, yep.
Oh.
Domestic abuse, child endangerment.
And this is after
false imprisonment. Wow. And you fuckers have the balls.
Hold up, wait. Read.
Subject was arrested for getting into physical altercation with his wife and children.
Now, didn't Cassidy say none of that happened earlier?
Wow. Look at that. You gotta relax. Nice. You play nice.
I don't like playing nice.
No, you play nice. You get further with...
Hold up.
Boomer, a.k.a. Munch, why are you stalking, harassing all the women here? Listen, why don't you mind your fucking business? How about that? How about you go night-night?
Hey, first of all, okay. Crystal, don't make me get on you again.
Okay.
Second of all, Crystal, it ain't just females that can get it. It's not our fault. Cattle cunt is a female. He wants to act like a bitch, so he's gonna be treated like a bitch. And third of all, okay, you want to get it and hit it? I went after John Davis. I took out Doug. I'm no skank. Let's see. I went after Benny. I went after Ernie.
Right out.
Hey, females aren't the only one that can get it.
No, absolutely not. Listen, you want to know? Why am I going after females? Why am I going after females? Because they've been talking shit.
You're saying high school motherfuckers?
They have no true facts on me. I admitted that I was wrong for what I did with Haley. And my girlfriend Tammy is on this live. As a matter of fact, she's in the fucking chats, Crystal. Hey, okay? So my thing is why is it that you all want to think that I'm the bad person?
Because we're the bad guys. Well, hold up a minute. You know, if I pay the $65, I can get my ordainment paperwork because I'm already ordained. I can marry y'all if you want.
They say they want to run an organ, then an advocate. Yeah, good luck with that.
Thank you, Bill. We're going to save this. I may need it for later.
You know, so needless to say, it's not that I'm attacking the women. I'm just sick and tired of these women coming at me with fucking shit that they have no clue about.
Y'all fought for equality. This is equality, motherfucker. You want to run your mouth like a big man?
You want to come on YouTube. You put your big panties on, big person panties, okay? Not unless you're wearing fucking Depends.
That's probably what they're wearing.
And they want to run their cocksuckers, but they don't want to take it. Okay? But I'm supposed to be the person to sit here and just allow you to bash me, to bash Tammy, you know, just like Tammy just said, I have proof that Haley started this and kept it.
I don't know what started it. I need my pillows. Hold on. I'm too short. I don't know what started this bullshit. But what I can tell you is no matter what and who started it, you don't bring a woman's domestic violence out to YouTube. Her children were endangered. I don't even know whose fucking record you're showing from Louisiana. But what I am going to tell you is that it's fucking disgusting. Put your big boy panties on, buddy. Boxers or tighty whities. Or nothing at all. Grab a fucking link, and we're going to listen to your woman abuse. Because that's what this is.
Going after us we told her to leave us alone.
And then you got this one.
Why was Haley so obsessed with a man she knew damn well he was in a relationship with about that? Because Mama Bear admitted it that she wasn't going to play matchmaker with Haley and me, even before.
You're a man. You're a man sitting next to a woman, and your woman's enjoying looking at Haley's naked pictures. You're sharing naked pictures with your wife and this other woman of your own penis, which is probably nothing. I can't wait to see it and laugh. I don't know what the hell games you're playing, but we're out here for a missing child, and you're out here glorifying somebody's domestic violence. What the fuck is wrong with you? I took apart an Equisearch video, the first one, the introduction. We're going to get to that in a minute here. But what was this motherfucker saying about me?
That they have no clue about.
Y'all fought for equality. This is equality, motherfucker. Female. He wants to act. And this is if you're gonna have somebody do your dirty work.
Oh, who the frigger is that?
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay.
But we have no proper information.
Current age.
2020.
2000. That's 2014. Yeah.
2014.
Oh.
They're bringing out somebody's domestic abuser from 2014.
Domestic abuse, child endangerment,
And this is after
false imprisonment. Wow. And you fuckers have the balls.
Hold up, wait. Read.
Subject was arrested for getting into physical altercation with his wife and children.
Now, didn't Cassidy say none of that happened earlier?
Wow.
Who's Cassie?
Look at that. You gotta relax.
Another woman.
Nice. You play nice.
I don't like playing that.
No, you play nice. You get further with
Hold up.
Boomer, aka Munch. Why are you still?
They kicked me out of his chat, by the way.
Listen, why don't you mind your fucking business? How about that? How about you go night?
Hey. First of all,
Okay.
Crystal, don't make me get on you again.
Okay.
Second of all, Crystal, it ain't just females that can get it. It's not our fault. Cattle cunt is a female. He wants to act like a bitch, so he's gonna be treated like a bitch. And third of all, okay, you want to get it and hit it? I went after John Davis. I took out Doug. I'm no skank.
Do you know what do you want to get it and hit it means? Trust and believe, Andrew, you're nothing I'd ever hit. Missing tooth and all, I look better than your wife any day of the fucking week. Do you want to get it and hit it? I think that's the problem. Y'all are out here sending dick pics to women on YouTube. Strangers. With y'all's women sitting right the fuck there. Like sickos. Also, while you're okay with somebody putting somebody's children on the motherfucking dark web. Let's not forget that's how all this started.
Let's see. I went after Benny. I went after Ernie.
No, you didn't.
Hey,
No, you
females aren't the only one that can get it.
No, absolutely not. Listen, you want to know? Why am I going after females? Why am I going after females? Because they've been talking shit.
I'm gonna talk
You
shit.
saying high school
What?
motherfuckers?
They have
don't
no
care. You
true
make it
facts
like-
on me. I admitted that I was wrong
I'll
for
show
what I
you
did with
tomorrow.
Haley.
Like, bitch.
And my girlfriend Tammy is on this live. As a matter of fact, she's in the fucking chats, Crystal.
And she was sitting right next to you while you're sitting there staring at another woman's naked body. You're gross. You're an abuser. You're abusing Tammy. That's abuse. Tammy, run for the hills, girl. Quick.
Hey, okay. So my thing is why is it that you all want to think that I'm the bad person?
Because we're the bad guys.
You are.
Well, hold up a minute. You know, if I pay the $65, I can get my ordainment paperwork because I'm already ordained. I can marry y'all if you want.
They say they want to run an organ and advocate. Yeah, good luck with that.
Thank you, Boo. We're going to save this. I may need it for later.
You know, so needless to say, why do I? It's not that I'm attacking the women. I'm just.
Sinister, is that your ex they're showing? Who's Cassidy? Another female name. Literally putting her and her children's abuse out there like that. Andrew, you have problems. I feel bad for your daughters. They have to grow up and think that this kind of behavior out of a man is okay. And it's absolutely not.
I'm just sick and tired of these women coming at me.
And then you have strange men constantly moving in and out with your children. Andrew, how many roommates have you had since you started covering Summer's case as the suspect's fucking father?
At me with fucking shit that they have no clue about.
Y'all fought for equality. This is equality, motherfucker. You want to run your mouth like a big man?
You want to come on YouTube. You put your big panties on, big person panties, okay?
Listen, buddy, you said you visit Pittsburgh all the time. I live in Carrick, 1710 Leland Street. I'll put my big motherfucking panties on, show up at my door. You're literally 2 hours away. Drive here. Please. Please drive here. Because you're not far. You're up by Buffalo, right? Want to meet at Lake Erie? We can do this shit. I'll put my motherfucking panties on. I'll go toe to toe with you, you fucking pussy ass motherfucker.
Not unless you're wearing fucking Depends.
That's probably what they're wearing.
Okay. And they want to run their cocksuckers, but they don't want to take it. Okay. But I'm supposed to be the person to sit here and just allow you to bash me,
You're a man. You're in a home with Andrew's daughters. They're listening to you bash women constantly. Boober, carpet muncher, with your cocksucker.
bash Tammy. You know, just like Tammy just said, I have proof that Haley started this and kept it going after we told her to leave us alone.
And then you got this one.
If you want people to leave you alone, you know what I've learned out here? You just ignore what you don't want to address, and it eventually goes away. This is not asking people to leave you alone. This is fueling a fire, isn't it? Cocksucker. Do you want a link, Haley? Here's a link. If you want to climb up here on the panel, bring your sister, dude, because she'll tear this dude an asshole. Her sister's so funny, yo. She needs her own channel.
Why was Haley so obsessed with a man she knew damn well he was in a relationship with about that? Because Mama Bear admitted it that she wasn't going to play matchmaker with Haley and me, even before I met Haley. So, who has some more fucking questions?
I'm here all day, motherfucker.
You have a woman. Why would you want Mama Bear to play matchmaker? Booby. He has a woman. Either way, why would he want Mama Bear to play matchmaker? Was he going to leave your ass, Tammy, for Haley? I would have a problem with that if I was your woman.
See, you guys don't like the real fucking questions. Okay? You all want to listen to the bullshit coming out of their fucking mouth.
Why don't you bust your ass right over to my chat and grab a link, bitch?
But we're going to provide that evidence.
And we just did.
Okay?
We just did.
You know, Haley sits there and says how I'm cyberbullying her. Fucking run it. This is YouTube. Put your fucking big pants on and suck it up, Buttercup.
So he's saying he's allowed to bully you, Sinister. And is that your ex that he's showing domestic violence for? Because I would consider that bullying. Why don't you suck it up, Buttercup? I dare your ass to come over here and grab a link because I'll go toe-to-toe with you. I don't even know what the fuck is going on or why, but what I know is that you're very degrading to women. And I'm not going to stand by and let that go on without saying something. You're a bitch. Let me see. He blocked me. Does he have a link put up? Because I'm about to fucking grab a stream. Come grab a link. I'm probably blocked. Yep, you have been placed in timeout. Of course I have. Who the fuck is scared of Andrew? You know what Andrew does? He drags young kids into the woods and then beats them with other people. And he gets charges for it. That's the type of man Andrew is. He robs people in the woods. Ask Benny. Benny found a news clip one time.
This is what happens when you want to play with adults.
Here's something. Wait, what time?
You're not acting like
you're they're upstairs trying to sleep. Here's something for you, okay?
You're acting like a man that plays with his cooter. Yeah. You're not a man at all.
You want to go, oh, he hurt my feelings. Oh, I'm going to call the police. Oh. Bitch, you don't like it? Shut the fuck up. You don't like it? Don't watch. And Darlie Boo Boo, this is called drama. If you don't want to be a part of it, don't fucking talk about it. And as for Mama Bear, who can't answer a straight fucking question.
Andrew, if it wasn't for Summer Wells, nobody would even know who the fuck you were. Your channel would have gotten nowhere. You wouldn't be making no money. Your channel was built off the back of a missing child that your son is a suspect in. There's an address being searched, or a street being searched with a Leslie Hill on it right now, which puts your son right into the line of fucking fire, right? And you're out here bullying women. You don't see a problem with that. I want to drag your ass in the woods.
Question, without beating around the bush, I produced more proof that you a lying asshole. And I produced more proof that even your child is a lying asshole. And guess what else?
Now he's calling people's children, is this child underage? He's calling people's children a lying asshole. After he wants to help Lips put dark kids on the dark web. Now he's offending children. What is wrong with this dude? Andrew, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with that little brain of yours. Please come over to my chat and grab a link. Come up on my panel. Come talk to me about this. Why does your wife approve this? How could anybody be fucking married to you? My child has her master's, not a suspect in a missing child's case. So this is you and your ex he's talking about. He's bringing out Haley's domestic violence from 2014. Oh, no? Okay. Good. I don't know who he's talking about, but this is crazy. And he just offended somebody's child. No, not your ex. Okay. But the child he's talking about is yours.
Your child's of age, so I can fucking say it. So fuck you and go eat your daughter's nasty twat.
I'm done. We're showing it. I'm going to show you what kind of father Andrew Hiltz is. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. This is enough. I gotta find it. Y'all want to see a little girl try to set a house on fire? Or do you want to see filth with beer cans and bottles all over? I'm going to have to find it. We're going to show them. You want to see their kids scraping up refrigerator scraps while they cry about having no food in the house and Andrew tell the kids they ain't allowed to eat? Because I have them videos that his daughter placed on YouTube. You're a disgusting little human, Andrew Hiltz. Disgusting. I'm not going to show it right now, but I am going to pull them videos out. We're going to look at your crib and how your kids live. Okay?
Because guess what? The only one that's ever did tell the truth was fucking Taylor. So it's all in your fucking demented heads.
Who's
Who was the
Taylor?
guy on screen again? Oh, his name was, they called him the Calusa King or whatever the fuck you want to call him, the Alabama bouncer. Joseph. That's his name, Joseph. There you go. Like, you bring him up to intimidate me? Bitch, please. I'm a fucking Thompson. I don't get intimidated. Okay?
Bitch, please. I'm a motherfucking Stanley and I don't get intimidated. Thompson's a very popular name, isn't it? I know a couple Thompsons. Not sure that they'd be related to you. But I think you're a bitch. Sorry, guys. I'm putting my thumbnail in and monetizing. I feel like making some money off of Andrew today, even though it won't be much. Give me 1 second here. All right. I'm telling you, Haley, this guy what is wrong with him? Why is he on here just exploiting and harassing people's domestic violence and their children and talking to women like he's something? Like this guy is acting like he's a kid.
I do not get intimidated. You know, all you women liked it when I was on there bashing Andrew. Loved it.
And now you're cocksucking him.
Now, the tables have turned, and now Munch is the bad guy. I didn't see Andrew at any given time go on YouTube and cry like a little fucking bitch.
Can you believe Andrew's living with this man and his wife used to fuck him? Would any of you females out there let a man that used to fuck somebody live in the same house with somebody they used to fuck? I bet you they have big orgy parties and shit. I mean, they share naked pictures of people.
So you want to play in the big boy world? Play. Play.
Come grab a link.
You don't want to play.
Right.
And Mama Bear, you sit there and say, oh, it could be 6 months, it could be a year, it could be 2 years. Listen, in 2 years, we'll still be waiting for the fucking cops to knock on the door. Because what the fuck proof do you have of anything?
Senor.
Who needs
Okay?
coffee?
What fucking proof?
Look, Andrew's his bitch. He's getting him coffee and shit. Look at Andrew. You got a leash on Andrew. You got to be kidding me. Who needs to wait 6 months and who needs to wait for cops? I bet you any one of these women would kick your ass. I can almost guarantee it. I bet you're a bitch in real life. Fucking carpet muncher. Dick. Andrew's carpet. Not women, because you play with a pussy. Excuse my French.
What do you have? Because if you had any kind of proof, you fucking turn it in now.
She don't. That's the problem. All they got is what's in their heads.
Even bashing other people too. Don't forget. Oh yeah, I know. Absolutely. Tammy didn't do a fucking thing to Haley. Didn't do a fucking thing to act right, and they want to.
No, but she was willing to share naked pictures of Haley. She was willing to look at them. That's kind of gross, don't you think? Why doesn't Tammy see a problem with another woman sending you naked pictures? Because you're abusing her. I say, you fucking damn right you'd have got your head cut off. Tell them how you got smacked over the head with a mug.
Okay. We don't want to go there.
No, we ain't going to go there. But you cheat. Like, this bitch don't play that shit. And this girl was sitting there letting him rate other women. Enjoying in it. Joining it. It's gross.
Bash her. Look in the mirror. Look in the fucking mirror.
So, Mama Bear is denying the truth and facts that we put out there that are legit. Having her daughter come up and lie about her own sister and the bullshit. I don't bash Andrew. I never will.
Hey, Andrew, remember when you were bashing Allie and you allowed Mama Bear to put out the phone calls with True and you joined in on it? Remember when you were Mama Bear's biggest champion? You're sick, man. You munching Lips's carpet? No, she's the one with the lips. She's munching yours.
I know, Pamela, and thank you for being here. Paula, sorry. I keep calling you Pam. I'm so sorry, Paula.
Mr. Blackwell ain't on here tonight.
But listen, okay? And as for Act Right, she's over there trying to play simp for Bimp and Tragedy Pimp or whatever fucking victimized.
Dude, leave Act Right alone. You've been at it for a week. How many more women are you going to put in this? I don't see neither of you coming over here and grabbing a link because you sure as fuck won't go toe-to-toe with me. These ones will cower down. I won't. I'm going to come up here and build them. Because you're down here doing what narcissistic men do. And then for your wives to sit there and allow this to happen, I'd like to meet them face to face. Fucking dirtballs.
Whatever. Oh, I'm a victim. Pick me. Bitch, show the fucking proof because I did a little bit of research earlier. I couldn't find nowhere, no how about no such 19-hour hostage situation. And as for the pill thing, honey, how you gonna get mad?
Why are you trying to bring women's domestic violence out and re-traumatize them? Shut that door, Earl. Please explain that. Why are you trying to bring women's domestic violence situations out and exploit it? What the fuck is wrong with you, penis head between two fucking ears that don't listen? Fucking deaf ass mute motherfucker.
As somebody, when you offered to pay them to do it for you and refuse to pay them, how are they instantly the bad guy and the drug dealer? This shit was in your fucking name. This shit had your fucking fingerprints all over it. Are you fucking stupid?
Yes, Paula, he's okay. That's why I'm here, just to keep him calm down a little bit.
Oh,
He's good.
Yeah, that was Taylor. That was singing last year. The one they said that's a pathological liar. Kind of funny how her stories adds up with the evidence and yours don't.
I got my point across. We're going to move into the introduction. They're welcome to come over and grab a link anytime they want. I'm not going to stay on long. Already here 31 minutes. I want to start an introduction into EquiSearch. I plan on making a series out of all of Dave Radar's interviews with Duty Ron. They may not be daily, but we're going to get to it. I started with the second interview that Duty Ron did with David Radar on July 19th. What you're going to see here is, and I didn't finish the end of it, so we'll watch the end of it together. But what you're going to see here is the terrain that they had to search through, the tactics that EquiSearch uses in the different forms. You're going to hear about how they searched other countries. There's a lot of information in this. I packed it down to like 12 minutes. We could put the next interview on if you want after, if I'm still here and have time. But I think it's important to listen to how hard it was as an introduction for these searchers. What we're edging up to here is the Andy Bernard part. However, that's not going to be today because I didn't have enough time to go through it all. And this was like almost a 2-hour live that I went through and was able to cut down a little bit. All right.
Dave Rader, welcome in, brother. How are you?
Good to be back on with you, Ron.
Yeah.
I wanted to give your followers just a little bit of a taste of what we were up against as searchers out in the field. So, there's nothing there that it's going to denote where we were. It's just going to show your followers, and really, it's only a piece of it. I mean, it's you don't get the full effect of it until you get hit with spider webs in the face or branches and the poison ivy, the oak, and everything like that. So the footage that you're about to see was shot by one of our searchers that was out in the field.
This is the piece that your team member sent. Looks like
Yes.
some thick brush.
I mean, you can just see how overgrown that truly is. I mean, just by the one individual that's in there, you can see how tall the weeds are just going through that. So you can imagine, 38 days into this now, what you're, and the sad part about this, and you have to be realistic on this, guys, and I want to be realistic because of where we're at in this. So, 38 days later, if we are looking for a body, she's not going to be the same size as she once was. And now all of a sudden you have to start thinking of bits and pieces. And that's, I know it sounds harsh, but that's just the reality. I mean, that's.
What were the temperatures like there today, Dave? Talk about humidity and Fahrenheit temps.
Yeah, right now I think we hit about 90, and it was the humidity was close to, I think, 68%. You just walk out and you start sweating, and then you get into areas like this. And again, I don't know if I mentioned it the last time, but people think going into woods because it's you've got a heavy canopy and it's shaded that it's cooler, and it's the furthest thing from the truth.
Right.
That canopy actually holds just dead air. There's nothing moving underneath that canopy, and it just makes it even worse.
Wow. And that's that's another obstacle for your search teams, right? Is staying hydrated, trying to keep out of heat stroke condition.
Yep.
You got your communications, your comms are probably on time, on point. But that's the thing. We talk about safety all the time as retired police officers and professionals. We want to go and do our mission, do our tour, and then return home to our families. And that's
it's a church that's down from her house, and this was, I believe, the church that the family went to. That's where the media was staked out at the time. I just drove around, kind of looking at some different areas this morning, and it caught my eye, and I decided to go up there and take a picture, just to show your what this community, what this little girl means to this community. So they did this little impromptu memorial for her.
beautiful.
And a little prayer garden, and I wanted to share that end of it also with your followers. It's a church that's down from her house, and this was, I believe, the church that the family went to. That's where the media was incredible. I mean, there was a lady named Trudy and her husband Chris that took care of McDonald's for us this morning. They took care of Chick-fil-A for lunch this afternoon. And I think that they even have Subway for tomorrow if and when we decide to make that call for tomorrow.
I didn't realize that the PIs were so involved so early on. They were buying lunch for Texas EquiSearch.
There is another area that we want to definitely check out before we leave town. But the Southern hospitality, you hit the nail on the head on that.
Mm-hmm.
These people treated, I mean, the drinks we wanted for nothing today. We absolutely we were taken care of, and that's one less thing off the plate that we have to worry about, which is a tremendous help.
Right. And Dave, we give thanks and praise to those generous folks, the generosity that comes out of this community. No matter what is going on in the community, they're out there with you. Eddie Overbay says to you, Dave, from the chat, I'm from the area. Watch out for snakes, copperhead and rattlesnakes, and black racers. Never heard of black racers. Prayers for you and the team, from Addie Overbay. Is this your team, or is this part of the team? Is this everybody?
No, that's not everybody. Those are the ones that were actually able to come down and
Fred and Ziggy talk about Overbays often. I'm looking for a news clip. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but there was a news clip about that prayer garden, which is where I think Prayer Garden got her fucking name from. But there was a news clip about that prayer garden where a guy named Newman had come and laid a wreath. I always wanted to talk to that guy. I don't know why.
and put forth the effort that we did today for summer. Great bunch right there. I mean, I mean, there's just, again, I am absolutely blessed with the individuals that believe in the same thing that I do and that we do. And again, the other day I said we're a bunch of misfits that fit, and there's my misfits.
Is this your team, or is this part of the team? Is this everybody?
No, that's not everybody. Those are the ones that were actually able to come down and put forth. We're all walks of life. We're all different shapes and sizes, but yet we have one mission and one mission only, and that's to bring this little girl home.
Yeah, and
there's one thing that we always do when we get together in the morning. We hug each other, and before we leave for the night and we say goodbye to each other, we also hug. So, like I said, it's just all walks of life. I mean, you got somebody that's in the medical field, you've got some that's in the industry. You got stay-at-home mothers. You just have every walk of life, and they give you 110% of themselves. Oh, like you say, you have to watch the wildlife that's around you. You're constantly getting spider webs in your face, especially early in the morning. One of my girls today, must have went through a whole thorn patch because her arm was just absolutely ripped to shreds,
right.
Bleeding all over. But again, that's what they do. That's part of the game, and that's again, they don't bitch about it, they don't complain about it. They get the job done and cover that area, and like we don't leave that area until every single person in that group agrees that is covered. If one individual has any kind of doubts about an area, about that area, we go and do that we cover it thoroughly, and so it's 100%, and then we move on. The thing is that how it's different is you had all these people were your brothers, your sisters. You knew people there. We don't know the people that we're looking for, but yet we still want to do it, even though we don't know them. So
I can't find the news clip I'm looking for, but I found another one with the search I'm going to throw on. I want to thank Texas EquiSearch, Ohio EquiSearch, Dave Reedor. I appreciate the hard work they put in. I've been following EquiSearch for years, since the Casey Anthony case, Haley Cummings case. They, in my opinion, they do wonderful work, and it's a hard job. Do they have some controversy? Yeah, it seems like all these search team areas do, but I would say for me, they're the most reputable, and you hear the most about them. For me, they're the most professional too, and they really do take the time, and they do this shit for free. But here's another news clip about the search. We'll go through a couple news clips.
35 different rescue squads from across the region and the United States flooded into Hawkins County this weekend to help search for 5-year-old Summer Wells. You're watching News Channel 11 and ABC Tri-Cities at 11. I'm Kelly Grossfield. Summer disappeared Tuesday night from her home in the Beach Creek community of Hawkins County. Her parents say she went out of a door in their basement and she hasn't been seen since. Crews estimate they've been searching about 2,400 acres since Tuesday night. Tonight marks night 6 of searching for Summer, with daily efforts wrapping up around 8 p.m. each night. But last night they went far beyond that, with crews working well into the early morning hours. Now take another look at this photo. This is Summer. She has blonde hair, blue eyes, and stands about 3 feet tall. Bianca Murray spoke with Summer's father again today, a Father's Day spent without his little girl. Bianca, what did he have to say?
Kelly, Father's Day is supposed to be a celebration that families can enjoy. Well, Don Wells, Summer Wells' father, told me he just wants his daughter back. And unfortunately, he told me his wish goes ungranted this evening.
I think it's really tough on all the people out here that are missing Father's Day, and it's making them a little bit edgy, and we're a little bit edgy. My wife is real edgy, and it's getting tougher, I think, for everybody.
Since Summer went missing Tuesday night, Don Wells says the Department of Children's Services has helped their family work through the trauma, but he says Summer's brothers are not doing too well.
They kind of fighting more than usual and stuff, and they got into it first thing this morning, and the team come up running up the hill. They heard screams, and so I've been trying to keep it down.
Summer's siblings aren't the only ones struggling. Her father tells me her mother is also worried about the 5-year-old little girl.
She'd be frantic. I mean, she's having a hard time, and she'll be okay for a little bit, and then she's up and down.
This Father's Day, Wells tells me his worst fear has been realized.
Do you think at this point that she is still alive?
I really don't know. Hopefully, yes. Depending on how bad or what's going on with her. I mean, there's always hope.
He told me that law enforcement is still blocking the entrance to their driveway to unauthorized vehicles in the hopes that Summer returns safely. However, he tells me that it is taking a toll on his family, and they hope that she is found safe and soon. Reporting live in the Beach Creek community, Bianca Murray, News Channel 11.
Bianca, thank you. As of this afternoon, TBI has received 137 tips in this case. Officials tell us they're following up on all credible leads. If you have a credible tip or information that could lead to finding Summer Wells, contact the TBI immediately. That information is on your screen.
Good afternoon. I'm Leslie Earhart with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. We can't thank you enough for your continuing coverage and helping us get the word out about Summer. Before I turn it over to Captain Coop, I want to reiterate that there are two aspects of this investigation: the search and the investigation itself. You've heard a lot about the search because that's something we can elaborate on. What you haven't heard a lot about is what's happening outside of the search. Rest assured that agents and Hawkins County detectives are investigating this fully. All avenues are being explored. As of this afternoon, we've received approximately 85 tips. Agents and officers continue to follow up on each lead that comes in. At the same time, teams continue to search the area around Ben Hill Road for any sign of Summer. Captain Tim Coop is with the Churchill Rescue Squad. He's currently serving as the incident commander for ground search operations. He's going to talk about the status of the search and the specialized teams being utilized today. Captain.
Thank you, Leslie. Once again, I wish we could bringing you guys better news, but this time on the search side of operations, we have no further new news. The following methods are continuing to be used today to try to locate Summer. Ground crews comprised aerial and aviation being completed by helicopter and fixed-wing aircraft, multiple canines, and also utilizing a specialized advanced mapping. The following new methods of search being utilized today are dive teams, hazardous and extreme.
I'm going to switch this up a little bit. I made a series of videos probably about a year ago. I think we should start watching these because a lot of it tells you about the search, what the terrain would have been like. It was a very informative. I did a lot of research for this set of videos, and it covers a lot of what we're going to cover coming up with the Duty Ron stuff I'm going to be going over more of. So I have, let's see which one we want to look at. This is the Summer Wells case, the timeline. I've showed the one with Day 4 Fields Road a lot. Okay. It was sort of smacked in between. I think I might have put it in one, but these are very informative, and maybe I'll just stick around and we'll start. And I'm going to start showing them with the Duty Ron stuff as well. We could just sit back and let these play a little bit.
More than 100 personnel and 41 agencies have been involved in the search for Wells since she was reported missing from her home in the Beach Creek community Tuesday night. Summer Wells was reported missing from her home on Ben Hill Road in the Beach Creek community of Hawkins County around 6:30 p.m., according to authorities. Sheriff Ronnie Lawson said she was last seen wearing a pink shirt and gray shorts. Lawson later said that around 60 to 80 people participated in the initial search Tuesday night. The Tennessee Highway Patrol's Aviation Unit and Ballard Health's Heart Air Service provided aerial support. Other agencies involved in the search: Church Hill Rescue Squad, Hawkins County County Rescue, Hawkins County EMA, Hawkins County EMS, Hawkins County E911, Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, and Goshen Valley Volunteer Fire Department. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation issued an endangered child alert for Summer.
Now, the TBI has issued an endangered child alert for a missing 4-year-old in Hawkins County. The sheriff's office says Summer Wells was last seen walking away from her home on Ben Hill Road last night. On your screen right now is a closer look at the pictures of her. She was wearing a pink shirt and gray shorts. And right now, crews are searching in the Beach Creek community. This is what the area looked like around 3 o'clock this morning. If you see her, call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
New details after an endangered child alert issued for a missing East Tennessee girl. We featured this actually in the first hour of Good Morning Nashville. To Josh with the update.
Yeah, Neil, so the TBI now updating the age of that little girl, saying she is 5, not 4, as they previously thought. That endangered child alert issued last night out of Hawkins County there in East Tennessee for Summer Wells. Take a look at these photos provided by the TBI. There was a massive search effort underway, but it was paused because those search crews said the terrain was just not safe due to the dark conditions out there. They do plan to resume, though, later on this morning. That search effort centered around Ben Hill Road in the Beach Creek community. We are told she's 4 feet tall, has blonde hair, and was last seen wearing a pink shirt and gray shorts. Now, at this point, no other details have been released, but anyone with any information about her whereabouts is urged to contact the TBI. We're going to post all this information on our website. Head over to WKRN.com for the latest breaking news.
The TBI also posted more photos of the missing child. Citing new information and growing concern about the well-being of Summer Wells, the TBI upgraded the endangered child alert to a statewide Amber Alert.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Leslie Earhart, a public information officer with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Thank you for being here and continuing to cover the search for 5-year-old Summer Wells. Unfortunately, we don't have any significant updates to provide as Summer is still missing, but we did want to share the latest on the investigation and the ongoing search. As you know, she's now the subject of a statewide Amber Alert.
Now at noon, we're following breaking news. An Amber Alert now issued by the TBI for a missing 5-year-old girl. Right now, the search continues for Summer Wells, the missing 5-year-old girl from Rogersville. And breaking news this afternoon, that endangered child alert now upgraded to an Amber Alert by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. You're watching News Channel 11 at noon. I'm Sydney Kessler. 5-year-old Summer Wells has not been seen since last night. Agents from both the TBI and the FBI are investigating along with local authorities. Wells is roughly 3 feet tall, weighing 40 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes. She was last seen wearing gray pants and a pink shirt. Now, she was reportedly last seen outside of her home in the area of Ben Hill Road and Beach Creek Road. Both crews have been searching on foot and with helicopters since last night. News Channel 11's Kate Nemrich joins us now live with the very latest details. Kate, what do we know so far?
Sydney, an Amber Alert was issued for 5-year-old Summer Wells just about an hour ago. Around that time, we started seeing helicopters circling once again, searching for her. Now, the road, Ben Hill Road, where she lives and was reportedly last seen, remains closed at this time. Ainsley Daniels is also on scene with me, and she just drove past that scene a few minutes ago, where there are plenty of emergency responders present. The TBI, FBI, Hawkins Sheriff's Office, Hawkins Emergency Rescue, Kingsport Life-Saving Crew, Bristol Fire, and many more. We're a few miles down the road at Solomon's Temple Baptist, where they have placed balloons in their prayer garden for Summer. They say Summer and her family used to attend this church, and she and her siblings did programs here.
She's a sweetheart. She's just a tiny little thing, and we all love her to death, and just hoping that everything turns out to the good here today.
Daughtry hopes to release the balloons when Summer is found. They are planning a prayer vigil for later this afternoon, but at this time they have not released the details. Again, this has been upgraded to an Amber Alert. 5-year-old Summer Wells has been missing since last night. Live in Sullivan County, Kate Nemrich, News Channel 11.
Kate, thank you. Now, take another good look at this photo here of 5-year-old Summer Wells. A few photos there running on your screen right now. Anyone who has information about this little girl's whereabouts is asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND, or you can email a tip to tbi@tn.gov. We've also have all of this information posted on our website. That's where we'll also post any updates and details to WJHL.com.
She was last seen outside of her home in the 100 block of Ben Hill Road, which is located in the Beach Creek community of Hawkins County. A family member reported her missing to the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office at approximately 6:30 Tuesday evening. At the time she went missing, Summer was reportedly wearing a gray pants and a pink shirt. She is believed to be barefoot. We do want to encourage the public, especially residents living in the area of Ben Hill Road, to check any trail cameras or security cameras that they might have that could have captured Summer on video or in photographs. We also encourage residents to check any crawl spaces, outbuildings, or sheds that would make for good hiding places. As we mentioned, the search is ongoing. There are a number of agencies involved. I'm going to turn it over to Sheriff Ronnie Lawson to talk more about the search and the conditions that authorities are up against. Sheriff.
Thank you. It's been a very intense 21 hours. A lot of searching, a lot of investigation by 19 different agencies. Last night, we had approximately 60 to 80 people searching in the woods. A number of law enforcement officers doing the investigation also. Today, we've had over 100 people in the woods searching throughout the whole region. We also have agents with the TBI and the FBI assisting my office. We jointly investigating this whole circumstance. Our main goal is to find Summer, find her safe. We have plenty of help. We don't need any assistance from the local people. We have the professional people out searching, and we just appreciate everybody, their contributions. It's been a tremendous outpour from the community with the water, the food, and the snacks. It's just overwhelming. And it's a very intense investigation. I know the public needs to know things, but it's ongoing, and we will release things as we can when we can. Our main goal right now is to find Summer.
We'll take a couple of questions, but keep in mind we can't discuss specifics of the investigation.
Absolutely. It's very dense. The terrain is tremendously hard. We have virtually no cell phone service. The radio systems we use, which is not that good, we have very little radio communication. We do have several command posts setting up, but what makes it so hard is the communication between the boots on the ground and searching the woods and the different agencies and officers, and it's very hard to communicate. And we're not like you're in these small towns or in towns where you got a lot of cell service, and just for instance, when we get texts from media, you may text, we may get it an hour later, and we have no way to reply to it. And the same way with the officers, and the ECOM Central Dispatch has done an excellent job. TBI has their command post. It should arrive soon, and we're going to continue on until we find Summer and put this case to rest.
Public Safety Committee took a long-awaited step tonight in getting the county back on track after a system failure where the towers linking the communications radio network failed at the end of last year. That system's made up of several radio towers that send and receive frequencies across Hawkins County. Ainsley Daniel was at a heated meeting earlier today.
Josh, that system failure causing continuous issues for first responders and rescue squads across Hawkins County. Tonight, several spoke up in a heated Public Safety Committee meeting.
In an emergency, it's the lifeline. That 911 call coming from a plane crash in Sir Gowensville just last month.
You can hear right there the member is trying to, he was actually trying to communicate with me and tell me, what he's seen and stuff.
The clicking noises and static, a constant issue for first responders in Hawkins County after their system failed in December, disconnecting the towers that transmit the calls.
Talking about stuff you don't talk about. You know, don't talk anymore. So don't bust me, son. Don't bust me. You know nothing about it. You know what I know, but we've been waiting for 6 months to find somebody about it.
Wednesday, that issue coming to a head where the Public Safety Committee approved spending up to $30,000 to restore the system with the original provider, AMK, while also exploring other options. One, a digital system costing more than $900,000. The other, a state-operated radio system with a price tag of over $4.5 million.
The licensing, we were just told, could take anywhere from a couple of months to a couple of years. So we just was looking at it to go back like it was, prior November, so that we can get people at least back as safe as they were then.
Emergency Management Director Jamie Miller says now the issue is countywide with all first responders.
Our goal with fixing this system was not to take the system to where it was in November. Our goal with this was to take communications in this county to a place it's never been.
Those working the front lines worry today's vote for a temporary solution could become the permanent fix.
No matter what, we have to be able to talk. That's our lifeline to dispatch, to be able to talk. And so, we've got to have a reliable communications everywhere that we cover throughout the county.
Today's vote will go to the full commission at their meeting next Monday, June 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Hawkins County Courthouse. Sarah?
The Hawkins County Public Safety Committee has created a task force to look at our communications issue, on how to enhance communications in our county, and potentially pursue a new technology for our communication system.
Hawkins County Mayor Jim Lee and EMA Director Jamie Miller will head up the task force. At the county's January public safety meeting, Miller offered several solutions to the county's radio communications issues.
Basically, there's three options as we are today because we're operational, which is analog, and then I've presented two digital solutions as well, DMR and P25 TACAN, which is the state system. Both systems work a little bit differently on how they're configured.
Okay. Miller said the task force will be faced with many questions that it will be expected to answer.
One being end user devices, who would take care of that cost, how the system would be configured as far as talk groups. That type of technology has never been used in this county, so it would be completely starting. If we decide to go digital and go talk groups, it would be completely different than what's been used in this county before. So we would have to do a needs assessment to see what we would need as far as talk groups.
Miller also said that end user devices already owned by the county that may need to be replaced could be sold, and that income could go towards the cost of new devices.
Obviously, we're in the position of developing this task force, and we'll have people with different areas of expertise, different agency backgrounds, just to make sure we get the best solution overall for this radio system, whatever solution that may be.
This task force is necessary due to old radio infrastructure, which was only made worse on December 18th when a radio microwave link was lost between Short and Bays Mountain, which caused a complete system failure.
We are functional with 3 independent repeater sites that are not linked together at this point. The system is functional independently for those 3 sites. Our county typically has a link system that responders in the lower end of our county and the upper end of our county have common audio from one device to another. When the systems broke apart, as it is right now, those officers are unable to hear each other if they're separated by enough distance. If you listen very closely to the beginning of this clip, audio clip, you'll hear a click. That click is an officer trying to communicate with his chief, and you'll only hear a click. We have end users that start on one end of our county on their shift and end up on a completely different end of our county within 45 minutes. Those officers, ambulances, fire vehicles, they're commonly moving back and forth across the county. So we definitely need to come up with some kind of solution where they're able to hear audio from one end of the county to the other. Without a common problem we have now is they cover one another up because they can't hear one another, and they'll both try to talk at the same time on different repeater sites.
The county's Public Safety Committee will hear from the task force on February 5th at the County Administration Building on Washington Street. In Hawkins County, I'm Bianca Murray for News Channel 11.
Opinions about what's going to be best and what's not going to be best. I just ask everybody to keep an open mind
There are things that are better than others, and there are things that cost money that we're not sure how we're going to pay for just yet. So I'll say that.
The Hawkins County Public Safety Committee met at a special called meeting Wednesday to find the best solution for the county's failing emergency radio system.
In the last meeting of the Hawkins County Public Safety Committee, we were asked to develop a task force to look at the different options for our radio system. That task force came back with a recommendation, which was TACAN as the number one choice. The number 2 and number 3 choices were full replacement of our system or DMR, which tied. Today's meeting, the different vendors come in and talk to the county and ask for a full quote to be put in with coverage studies for the county of the exact cost of what it would be as a quote instead of an estimate.
The task force was necessary due to the failing of radio systems in December.
A sheriff's deputy might start out in Mooresburg and go all the way to a call in Mount Carmel. So now currently you have to switch to 3 different channels to do that. And if you're in the upper end of Hawkins County, you can't be heard in the lower part of Hawkins County. So it's a big officer safety issue as far as being able to hear each other. And if you need additional backup and whatnot. As far as the rescue squad, our communication system has always had issues as far as dead spots, especially over in the Clinch area, in the Mooresburg area. We have 2 sites now that we transmit on, Town Knob and Short Mountain, so that helps a little bit, but there's still a lot of dead areas now.
The task force's number one choice was TACAN, which stands for Tennessee Advanced Communication Network.
TACAN was number one. It's a system that I currently use now with one of my agencies that I work with. We love it. We love the interoperability of it, being able to talk to the other counties around us. You've got Greene County, Greenville City, Kingsport, Sullivan County, Washington County, all those guys, the Highway Patrol, TBI, several different agencies that are going to that system.
The Public Safety Committee will again meet once vendors of different radio service providers offer their specific quotations.
I just think it's hard to put a price on a first responder's life, and I hope the county commissioners do the right thing and get the system and the equipment that we need that would potentially save somebody's life.
Thing is that how it's different is you had all these people were your brothers, your sisters. You knew people there. We don't know the people that we're looking for, but yet we still want to do it even though we don't know them. So we still have that passion, but it's nothing like when you're going through the pile that you did to look for some of your brothers and sisters that you worked arm in arm and shoulder to shoulder with that had your back. So my hat goes off to you guys 100%. We were not directed to the areas that we went to today. The areas that we went to today was off of gut feelings from myself. And I also ran it by a lot of my team members here to see if I was on the same page, and the gut feeling was if I was thinking clearly enough. So no, we weren't directed on anywhere that we went today. It was basically what would have happened in this scenario. Where would she be? And the part B, the answer to that question is we did not use any. We did have a drone with us. Couldn't use it. It's just too thick at this point in time. And the only thing that we could literally do today was literally put boots on the ground. And again, 38, 39 days into this, we're not looking, and again, God forbid, and again, I hate saying this, is that we're not looking for this pretty little girl. She's not going to be the same way as what we're looking at all these pictures. So I always give every single one of my individuals, my searchers, a voice. At no point in time is it my way or the highway. I don't think that's the kind of thing that we need to run. I think I'll say something, I'll throw it out there, then I'll ask them, what do you think about it? And then we talk about it. And then at the end of the day, we take a little bit of everybody's thought process, and that's how we come into doing the recon and the places to go, and then we execute. So yes, it's not about how much ground that you cover, Bill. It's how much ground thoroughly that you've covered. I covered today. I wanted to get covered, and then a little bit more. And then we got a little bit of information as far as at the end of the day that we may look into for tomorrow. So the people that are staying tonight, we'll get up early in the morning. We'll look at this, and if it's feasible, then we'll go and check this out, and then they'll go home and back to their families. let me just sit there and say if it's plausible and if it fits into the timeline and how everything is flowing, nothing is off the table. So I'll leave it at that.
Dave, I want to ask you, and you don't have to answer this if you think it would compromise anything, but are the investigators giving you any suggestions in regards?
No, to be honest with you, Bill, I have not talked with law enforcement. I have not talked with TBI. I have not talked to Ronnie Lawson's office at all. This has all been done through Captain Tim Coop, and that's the only communication that I've had. So, and I kind of like it that way, because then if there is something that needed to be, it's not lost in the chain of command. So we've got one person that we're dealing with, so it's not 20 other ones. So I've been dealing with Coop. He's known everything that we've done, every place that we've went. And again, what we'll do is we'll fill out our paperwork, of course. We'll hand it over to him, and then that will be then, I would assume, and I hope that will be incorporated into the investigations file. But, we pay for our own food because we always have to eat. But again, the fine folks usually on searches will feed us. What you and Ron have done for us as far as it's helped us out tremendously to help with the hotel rooms and the gas money to get these people here. Again, some of these people actually take off for vacation time or personal time. They're away from their wives, they're away from their husbands, their family, to spend 48 hours with me to go find an individual that they don't even know of. So that kind of helps. That really helps us out. But I will tell you, when we first started, Bill, we didn't have a proverbial pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. But that never.
You added that part in. That's got to be a.
I think that Candace, for sure, again, I don't get into the investigation of it like you guys do. I mean, you guys are the professionals. My job is to figure out what the hell they did with them after the fact. But do I think that I'm not so sure about Don's end of this, but I think that the grandmother, and I think that I think Candace knows, and I'm not too sure if knows something in that also. So I don't want to. I'm not pointing a finger, but you have, I think that Candace, for sure, again, I don't get into the investigation of it like you guys do. I mean, you guys are the professionals. My job is to figure out what the hell they did with them after the fact. But do I think that I'm not so sure about Don's end of this, but I think that the grandmother, and I think that I think Candace knows. And I'm not too sure if the 15-year-old don't know something in that also. So I don't want to. I'm not pointing a finger, but you have three individuals that was with this 5-year-old girl, and now she's gone. So you have to put those three players in the mix. So.
And I
don't know where Don fits into this. I really don't.
And I'm going to,
from the bottom of my heart. I mean, again, we were welcomed from the get-go as far as when we hit boots on the ground. So from the hotel, from the community, for people actually listening and not posting where we were today. I thank you for all of your followers and all the people that have donated not only money but time and effort and food. Again, that's what makes us. We're able to then spend a lot more time putting a search together than worrying about what we're going to eat or how we're going to do this and that. So I applaud everybody that it was a total team effort, and I don't mean it just from the EquiSearch standpoint, but it's from the standpoint of you and Bill and your followers. This has just absolutely just been overwhelming to me as far as the generosity and the love that I could feel. It's just unreal, unbelievable. And from the bottom of my heart and from EquiSearch Midwest and this whole entire team, we thank you. The private property, I'm not a professional surveyor, so I'll go on a piece of property and ask for forgiveness later if need be. And yes, we do go off of the vultures, turkey vultures. That is a big indicator of something of death. And we do pay attention a lot to how they interact and how many that there are. So to answer those questions, yes, we do private property. We do things by the book, though, as far as if the homeowner is there or if the landowner is available, then we will get prior to if we need to. We'll have law enforcement with us if need be. So yes, we can. Now, abandoned buildings come into a whole different animal.
Right.
We have done abandoned buildings, but and never been challenged on any of that. So that's just something we have to do.
That gives us
Everything gets checked, Ron. I mean, as far as they did take dogs up on the property around the house. I don't know if they ran them inside the house, but they did use both cadaver and they also used live track. I'm sure that TBI
talk about live track. Tell the folks what live track is, because
live track is so when she first went missing, they had said that she had walked away from the house, from the basement. So you would take that dog and you would get a scent article from her from inside the house that she would only use. You would set the dog up, and then the dog should follow the most recent, freshest trail of that individual that they're being put to work for. So, which I know that they did use several live track dogs. And then towards the end, I do believe that they used cadaver around the house. And to no avail, they did not. They didn't pick up anything to my knowledge.
Excellent. Dave, someone asked, Jacqueline Whitehouse asked, what about that lake where someone was swimming? Has that been searched?
Yes, actually, I went over there this afternoon with the team. And it is so heavily populated, in that area that if she would have been there, she would have been found. It's just too highly traveled. It's right there. So, no, I mean, as far as like satellite imagery, as far as from 1 month to another, no. But I have used, like on older cases per se, I will go back to Google Earth and say somebody went missing back in, let's just say 2014. Then what we'll do is we'll go back to that area and put into Google Pro what that area looked like back in 2014 and see how it's changed and see if we can't recreate what it looked like back then to present. And we also do that if we don't get called in for 6 months, and let's say when the person went missing, it was summertime, and then we're there in the fall when everything is open and everything like that. You have to, as searchers, you have to put your mindset of when, not what you're looking at present. You're looking at what happened during that time frame that the individual went missing. If that makes any sense.
That 400 missing people have been returned alive by EquiSearch between Texas and the Ohio chapter. 238 sets of remains were brought home to loved ones over the course of time. They've searched in Aruba, outside of the country, in Sri Lanka, Mexico, Jamaica, the DR, that's Dominican Republic, that's not Duty Ron, Nicaragua.
That's Wayne Reed.
In all of these outside countries, this organization has gone to and conducted searches.
420 Creeper, what are you talking about? Yes, it is sick. People need to go bye-bye. We're going to put you in a timeout because I don't know what you're even implying there. But it's gross that you have to listen to them facts like the turkey vultures. And the part I didn't put in this right after was how the land grows if there was a body in the forest somewhere, how the next year the signs they look for is the foliage would be more lush because it would have been fed, if that makes sense. So they know what they're looking for. There's no way, as many times as the searchers have been out there in the woods, if they looked thoroughly, there's no way they would have missed this baby or signs of her being in the area just by the turkey vultures or by the lush or the lack of, because it would die first and then grow. All right, so the next time I'm going to have the second or the third interview with Duty Ron, but I want to go back to my series here because it all plays in, it all goes with the search. I'm going to play this probably the next 3 videos, and then the next time I come up, we'll do 5, 6, and 7, and then we'll do 8, or we'll do whatever. Y'all get the point. I have Ansley smashed in there, and I don't know why. I don't know if that was separate or not. All right, let's go back to my tab, video 2. concentrating on the search.
More than 100 personnel and 41 agencies have been involved in the search for Wells since she was reported missing from her home in the Beach Creek community Tuesday night.
The family are cooperating, and it's really too early to tell. We're still just basically just gathering information, and we're in the search mode right now.
Here's a comprehensive breakdown and exploration of the reasoning behind the transition from an endangered child alert to an Amber Alert in Summer Wells' case, especially considering the absence of a vehicle. I'll also provide detailed distinctions between these alert types. Differences between Endangered Child Alert and Amber Alert. Endangered Child Alert. This is typically issued for missing children when there is concern for the child's safety, but without sufficient evidence of abduction. The goal is to alert the public to be vigilant without assuming any specific suspect or motive. Amber Alert issued when authorities have reasonable evidence that a child has been abducted and is in imminent danger. Requirements for an Amber Alert include the belief that the child is in danger of serious bodily harm or death. This alert aims for swift public engagement to locate a child in immediate risk. Purpose and protocols. Amber Alerts mobilize resources more intensively and have stringent criteria, while Endangered Child Alerts are issued when there is worry for the child's well-being but insufficient data to confirm an abduction. Activation process. The transition from an Endangered Child Alert to an Amber Alert may happen as new information is gathered or concerns about imminent risk escalate, even without identifying a suspect or vehicle. Public engagement level. Amber Alerts use wider reaching networks, including highway signs, media broadcasts, and more detailed, urgent public warnings, aiming for maximum public assistance. Possible reasons for the shift from Endangered Child Alert to Amber Alert without a vehicle. Escalation in perceived risk. After assessing the details surrounding Summer Wells' case, investigators may have concluded that she was likely taken by someone, despite a lack of suspect or vehicle, warranting an Amber Alert. Timeline gaps or new evidence. By June 16th, investigators might have encountered gaps in the timeline, suggesting higher risks than initially thought. Physical and geographic vulnerability. Summer Wells was a young child in a rural, secluded area, which could indicate that she was vulnerable to exploitation, increasing urgency. Media and public pressure. Heightened media attention and community.
420 just tried to come up on my panel. I'd want to see your face. Please don't come up here trolling. This isn't the stream for it. You got an issue, tell me what your issue is.
Concerns may have influenced authorities to amplify the alert status to ensure extensive public engagement. Family and environmental factors. Details about Summer's family and environment might have raised red flags, supporting a shift to an Amber Alert as officials re-evaluated the case's potential for criminal elements. Search efforts progression. If extensive searches failed to reveal her presence nearby, authorities may have inferred that she was taken from the area, justifying an Amber Alert. Law enforcement strategy. Sometimes, increasing the alert level is a tactical decision to use heightened resources and rapid media coverage. Amber Alerts with higher visibility can attract more attention to generate leads. Child's age and physical characteristics. Given her age, Summer would have had limited ability to evade danger independently, raising fears that she had been taken, leading to the Amber Alert status. Previous suspicious activities or calls. Law enforcement could have received previous tips about strange activities near the Wells residence, and without vehicle information, an Amber Alert could ensure all leads were followed. Local and national trends. Given rising concerns about child trafficking and exploitation in the U.S., law enforcement may have chosen to err.
I want you guys to remember that we didn't have a truck description for at least a week. There was a long period of time of the Amber Alert going out and then us hearing about the truck. So that's why I included this in here. When the Amber Alert went out, it originally went out without a vehicle description. If you're confused.
On the side of caution. Reassessment of endangered status. Initially, authorities may not have considered the risk sufficient for an Amber Alert, but further investigation could have indicated a possible abduction. Absence of concrete leads. When investigations yield minimal progress or promising leads, law enforcement may elevate the alert level, especially in cases of vulnerable young children. Community safety considerations authorities may have wanted to warn the public if they felt other children in the area could be at risk. Absence of clear evidence against abduction, the absence of signs pointing to Summer wandering off alone might have further prompted the shift, especially without contradicting signs of an abduction. Increasing likelihood of foul play, police may have inferred that the lack of leads in Summer's vulnerability increased the likelihood of foul play, warranting an Amber Alert. Desire for broader public involvement, an Amber Alert extends reach, encouraging the public to share information, especially across digital platforms. Assumptions based on previous cases, with some high-profile cases showing children taken by individuals without using a vehicle, authorities might have broadened the criteria. Lack of surveillance or witnesses in rural areas. Limited eyewitnesses or video surveillance can hinder investigation. An Amber Alert increases the likelihood of people sharing useful information from other sources. Probable cause of abduction, if authorities found evidence or clues suggesting abduction, even without vehicle involvement, they may have felt confident elevating the alert level. Strategic public awareness, the Amber Alert's urgent tone can serve as a strategic tool to gain support and vigilance from the public. Given the media presence and the heightened alert level, this could spur more leads and assistance. This reasoning provides an understanding of why the switch from an endangered child alert to an Amber Alert could have been made without concrete evidence of a vehicle. It's a combination of protocol, situational urgency, and possible indirect evidence that shaped law enforcement's decision.
Since it appears to me that she walked away from her home, why was it upgraded to an Amber Alert?
Well, the bottom line is we don't know which.
Now, did you hear Ansley's question? If she walked away from her home, that's what they were reporting. Summer walked away. The Amber Alert could have gone out just based on the footprints, which is, I guess, what I was trying to show in that video. It could have been she was carried off. Somebody put her down. Just footprints alone, they didn't need the truck. And Leslie did state that the last place Summer was seen was walking away from her home on Ben Hill Road. That was in these TBI press releases.
Here she is at this time. Again, there was the initial search. We acted, and the sheriff's office acted on the information available at the time. And as we learned more in the first several hours into today, it led us to issue an Amber Alert.
When the Amber Alert was issued, you said there was new information that led you to believe that Summer might be in more danger. Can you expand on that a little bit?
I can't. That's part of the investigation.
Sheriff Lawson mentioned earlier that he's asking the community questions. You have enough resources here. I was investing in the community that they want to help us how can they help us?
If they see something or know something, they need to tell somebody. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people don't want to get involved. They want to reply to us or respond anonymously. That's fine. As long as we find Summer, that's the main thing right now. And we're talking about the Amber Alert. When they raise that up another level, that helps more people paying more attention. You get more clues, you get more calls, and then everybody can call that 1-800-TBI find, and it all goes into a database, which helps us in an area where we don't have a lot of communication anyway. So TBI helps us with that.
The FBI was called in fairly early. Can you kind of explain why that decision was made?
Well, we have an excellent relationship working together, and just like this case stems outside of Hawkins County, then you have the TBI to help with that. But if it spans on out past the state of Tennessee, then you got the FBI. So we're all on the same page, and we just keep on going. We're just working together as a team. All have the same goal. Let's find Summer.
The FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Card Team assists in cases of child abductions regardless of whether there is evidence the child crossed state lines. Their involvement isn't solely limited to situations where an Amber Alert is issued or when an interstate abduction is suspected. The card team provides specialized support in any case where abduction is suspected, including cases confined within a single state. Here's how it works. Criteria for card team involvement. The card team is typically activated when local authorities request specialized assistance in a suspected child abduction, particularly if the case involves complex factors such as limited leads, challenging terrain, or the need for advanced investigative resources. Scope of involvement. The team's deployment isn't dependent on whether the child has crossed state lines. They're often brought in to leverage their expertise in handling high-stakes cases involving potential imminent danger, even if the investigation remains local. Amber Alert, not a requirement. The presence of an Amber Alert can coincide with the CARD team's involvement, but isn't a prerequisite. The team may be called in regardless of an Amber Alert if the situation warrants intensive investigation. Focus on immediate and critical threats. The CARD team specializes in quickly mobilizing resources and investigative techniques that are especially crucial in the early stages of a child abduction case, prioritizing any child believed to be in immediate danger. In essence, the FBI's CARD team steps in when their specialized support is deemed valuable, focusing on abductions with imminent danger or urgent, complex investigative needs, regardless of whether an Amber Alert is issued or there's suspicion of interstate travel.
Can you expand on maybe just the area where you guys are searching? Maybe if people see something in a certain area, they should be on heightened alert if they're in a certain area or part of town. Sure.
Well, the terrain stuff is like you see here. This is what people are searching in. But if they seen something yesterday evening or afternoon that we need to know, that's when they need to make the call or come by the command post.
Kind of landmarks and sort of an area you're sort of
Just around Ben Hill Road in that area. That's the main, because she's 5 years old and she left the house, and evidently she got a little farther than they expected.
Do you have any idea how much territory your volunteers or searchers are covering?
A lot. We have so many out there that they've broadened the scope. Plus, we've been able to utilize aircraft. GHP's been wonderful with their helicopter and the medical helicopters with GHP's FLIR at night. They've been flying today, and it's just outstanding how the community's come to help us, plus all the different resource agencies and the rescue squads and EMSs and all the law enforcement. And we just hope that we have a great result when we find Summer.
At this time, we're following up on any and all leads. Again, thank you for being here. We encourage the public to call in any credible information to 1-800-TBI-FIND, and we continue to hold out hope for the best possible outcome. Thank you.
In a tweet, the TBI said it does not have a suspect or a vehicle description in connection to Summer's disappearance. However, the agency said it developed such information it would share it with the public immediately. More than 100 personnel and 41 agencies have been involved in the search for Wells since she was reported missing from her home in the Beach Creek community Tuesday night.
The rest of our operational period, utilizing multiple ground crews, drones, fixed wing, and also helicopter with K-9s on standby. Some of the issues we're encountering with this search is the steep and dangerous terrain. With this steep and dangerous terrain, we're also experiencing, as you see behind us, very dense canopy coverage, including very dense ground cover, causing search efforts to become very difficult, taking extra time to cover these areas adequately, exhausting teams a lot quicker, in turn causing longer for these grounds to be covered, allowing those teams for recovery and rehab. We have currently covered at this time at 1 mile from the residents last seen by ground and dog. Hopefully by the end of the day, we will have recovered 2 ground miles. Assisting with THP, expanding theirs to a minimum of 4 miles aerial aviation searching. As she stated, residents in this area, everybody continues to ask, well, if she wandered off, why did somebody not see her? This part of the community, the residents are very spread out. Some may from one hilltop to the other hilltop, or at the start of a road, and you may go a mile back before you ever get to another residence. It's making that very difficult for residents just to be able to be at home, outside working or something, and notice her leaving that area. As we continue, we will continually assist Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, TBI, and FBI with this search as long as they deem necessary. And as Leslie stated, at this time, we are not asking for any public and or volunteers to assist in the search. A lot of people wonder why. Due to the extreme terrain, the nature of this, trying to locate her, trained professionals is what we need at this time to make sure that these residents don't become endangered and turn around and expand this issue with having to search for somebody else. Thank you.
Here's an in-depth look at the challenging terrain around Summer Wells' home in Hawkins County, Tennessee, and the associated danger search teams faced in their efforts to locate her during that critical first week. Description of terrain. Rugged hills and steep slopes. The area around Summer Wells' home is marked by rugged hills and steep inclines, with some slopes nearly vertical. This made every step hazardous for searchers, who had to watch each footing to avoid slips and falls. Thick underbrush and dense foliage. The woods surrounding her home are packed with thick underbrush, dense trees, and shrubs. The foliage is so dense in some places that visibility was reduced to mere feet ahead, making it easy for both Summer and the searchers to be hidden from view. Rocky and uneven ground. The ground itself is uneven, scattered with rocks of various sizes that can turn even flat surfaces into tripping hazards. Loose rocks added further challenges, especially on slopes where a misplaced step could lead to a dangerous fall. Narrow trails. While there are some trails in the area, many are narrow and not designed for heavy foot traffic. Searchers had to navigate these trails carefully, often single file, which slowed down the search process and limited access to certain areas. Heavy tree canopy. The tree canopy in the area is thick, providing a dense cover that blocks sunlight. This limited natural light and visibility, especially in shaded areas, and made it difficult to thoroughly search beneath the trees. Natural obstacles. Fallen trees, branches, and other natural debris littered the forest floor, creating obstacles that required searchers to either navigate around or climb over. Each obstacle added time and physical exertion. Stream and waterways. There are small creeks and waterways in the area. Crossing these added to the difficulty, as they were often surrounded by slippery banks. The water itself posed a danger due to its depth in certain spots, where a child might struggle. Limited paths and roads. The remote nature of the property meant limited road access. Search teams had to rely heavily on foot travel, which slowed down operations, especially when carrying equipment or water. Dense vegetation concealment. With so much thick vegetation, Summer could have been easily concealed from view, even just yards away. This required searchers to proceed slowly, checking every potential hiding place carefully. Few landmarks. The landscape has few recognizable landmarks, making navigation challenging. In areas with few distinguishing features, searchers had to be cautious not to lose their bearings, and GPS often struggled due to the dense canopy. Environmental conditions that day. Hot temperatures and humidity. On June 17th, the weather was warm and humid, typical of Tennessee summers. These conditions added to the physical toll on searchers, who were already exerting themselves over difficult terrain. Limited air circulation. With the dense canopy overhead, air circulation on the forest floor was minimal. This created a stifling atmosphere for searchers and increased the risk of dehydration and overheating. Risk of heat exhaustion. The combination of warm temperatures and strenuous activity posed a serious risk of heat exhaustion. Searchers had to take frequent breaks, stay hydrated, and be vigilant about symptoms of overheating. Insects and wildlife. Tennessee's woodlands are home to various insects, including ticks, mosquitoes, and biting flies, which were an added irritation and potential health hazard. Wildlife such as snakes also posed a danger to search teams. Poisonous plants. The area is home to various poisonous plants, including poison ivy and poison oak. Searchers had to be aware of their surroundings to avoid these plants, as contact could lead to painful rashes. Mud and slippery terrain. The humidity and occasional rain led to muddy, slippery ground conditions in some places. This made walking treacherous, especially on inclines or near water sources, where footing was already precarious. Risks faced by searchers. Physical exhaustion. The combination of challenging terrain, heat, and humidity meant that physical exhaustion was a constant risk. Searchers had to pace themselves carefully to avoid burnout and to maintain focus. Lack of communication signals. The hilly landscape and thick canopy disrupted radio and cell signals, which made coordination among the search teams difficult. This posed a significant safety concern, as teams couldn't always reach each other in emergencies. Limited daylight. Despite it being summer, the dense forest and heavy canopy limited daylight hours in the woods. The search had to be conducted efficiently during daylight, as visibility dropped drastically in the evening. Danger of falls and injuries. The rocky, uneven ground, coupled with natural obstacles, increased the likelihood of falls and injuries. Searchers had to be cautious not only for themselves but also to look out for each other in case of injury. Navigational challenges: the area's lack of clear trails and recognizable landmarks made navigation difficult, with the risk of searchers losing their way in unfamiliar territory. Weight of equipment: searchers were often carrying necessary gear like first aid kits, water, and search tools, which added to the physical strain. The extra weight made navigating the rough terrain even more challenging. Psychological toll: the nature of the search, looking for a missing child, carried a heavy psychological toll. The searchers had to remain focused and thorough, but the stakes added to their mental and emotional burden. Fatigue and attention to detail: the strain and exhaustion made it difficult for searchers to remain attentive. They had to be meticulous in their efforts, as overlooking a small area could mean missing vital clues or evidence. Risk of injuring themselves or others: with searchers spread out and navigating narrow trails, there was a risk of accidentally causing injuries, whether through falling rocks or slipping. Every step had to be taken with extreme care, adding to the challenge. The search for Summer Wells around her home on June 17, 2021, was a grueling and hazardous operation due to the unique combination of environmental, physical, and psychological factors. This rugged terrain required resilience and determination from all searchers, who faced dangers at every turn.
As we've stated before, the circumstances surrounding Summer's disappearance remain unclear. So if we do develop information that she was taken and we develop a suspect and a vehicle description, of course, we will share that with the public immediately. At this time, that's just not the case. So we'll take a couple of questions, and I'll offer Sheriff Lawson an opportunity to say anything if he wants to.
More than 100 personnel and 41 agencies have been involved in the search for Wells since she was reported missing from her home in the Beach Creek community Tuesday night.
What time was she last seen and who reported her missing in the family?
Her parents reported her missing right around 6:30 p.m.
But when was she, did they say when she was last seen? I know that she was reported missing around that time. Was she last seen earlier in the afternoon or in the day, do you think?
That time is varied because they were searching for their child themselves.
I have a question for Captain. Just wanted to see, are you asking for assistance from other agencies? I know yesterday you all mentioned.
Notice he said that time has varied because they were searching for their child themselves. So we really don't know what time Summer went missing. What we do know is that Fred said that Chad Arnold seen Candace at 4:30 coming off of his driveway. So how long was Candace searching for Summer before the police were actually called? In a normal circumstantial situation, if your child's outside playing and they go missing, are you going to go searching for them first? Thinking they walked off, maybe she went down little David Britt's house, running away. Me as a parent, I think I would probably try to search for my child first too, but I don't know how long I would wait. The area is big. It's large. You have to climb hills. You have to climb up. You have to climb down. We hear Fred say Candace was walking. We hear the TBI say Candace was walking. We hear law enforcement say Summer was last seen walking away from her home. It's the wording that means something to me.
19 agencies helping out with the quick turnover in personnel, it sounds like, that are searching. Are you all looking for other agencies in surrounding counties to help? And what is the hours that you all are searching?
Yeah, so hours of operation at this time are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We have, like Leslie stated yesterday, we have utilized at this time 19 different agencies throughout the state of Tennessee. We also have multiple agencies outside of our jurisdiction in burning states, and also expanding to Middle Tennessee to having these teams on standby.
You talked about getting tips. Can you give me an idea of the magnitude of tips that you've gotten so far, and with the amount of time that's passed is there concern, that it's less likely to find it?
Of course, the longer this goes, the more concerned we get. At this stage, we've received nearly 50 leads. None have panned out so far. Yes, approximately 50 at this point.
Who does Summer live with? And is there any history with this family with law enforcement or anything that you're aware of?
Sure.
Summer lived with her parents and 3 siblings.
Are these her biological parents, mother and father?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any history of
One second. Sorry.
the history of your office going to their home or anyone in the home with any criminal history? And we go first.
The father has a criminal history.
Can you elaborate on that?
I don't have it with me.
There are two aspects to this case: the search for Summer and the investigation into how she disappeared. Part of that investigation has involved looking into the family. As we reported earlier this week, Summer's father, Donald Wells, was arrested last year for domestic assault. News Channel 11's Amy Cockrum has been looking into Wells' criminal past and found he has also previously faced charges in other states.
Josh and Sarah, I spent the day looking into Donald Wells' previous charges in Utah, Arkansas, and Tennessee. The Arkansas charges include possession of controlled counterfeit substances without a prescription and burglary. Those charges occurred between 2006 and 2007. In Utah, Wells faced multiple charges from 1990 to 2001. He pled guilty to attempted aggravated assault, interfering with a public servant, forgery, burglary of a dwelling, and theft. When we asked Wells earlier this week if he would like to address his criminal history, he said, quote, "It's in the past and we'll leave it there," end quote. We also asked Wells about charges in Hawkins County. According to police reports, Wells was arrested in October 2020 and charged with domestic assault, possession of a handgun while under the influence, and unlawful possession of a weapon, following an incident with Summer's mother.
We worked it out. She's apologized to me. She's went to the district attorneys. She even talked to the judge.
Narcissist. We worked it out. She apologized to me. Bitch, you beat her. Fuck, she got to apologize to you for. This is why I still see you as suspicious. Candace didn't know you no apology for beating her.
And told him that she made a serious mistake, and and that's the end of it.
This past April, Wells pled guilty to possession of a handgun while under the influence. The other charges were dismissed. Josh and Sarah?
Amy, thanks. And we want to point out here that TBI says the Wells family has been very cooperative with investigators throughout their search efforts.
Friends of the family tell us they're doing their best to keep their spirits up on day 9.
Charge details for Donald Wesley Wells. Violation 1. Charge burglary residential. Statute 539-201A. Class B felony. Violation date August 22nd, 2006. Age at violation 41. Plea not guilty. Disposition January 25th, 2007 null prosequi, which means the charge was dropped and the prosecution did not proceed with the case. Sentence information: no sentence information found for this charge. Violation 2. Charge possession of controlled counterfeit substance without prescription Schedule I, or II, third offense. Statute 564-401C2D. Class C felony. Violation date April 3rd, 2007. Age at violation 42. Plea guilty. Tabor. Disposition May 14th, 2007. Sentence probation for 48 months, 4 years. Details: the charge was classified as the third offense for possession of a controlled counterfeit substance without a valid prescription, which was a violation involving a Schedule I, or II substance. This third offense elevated the charge, resulting in a Class C felony and probation sentencing. Explanation of charges in detail. Burglary residential discharge, a Class B felony, involves unlawful entry into a residence with the intent to commit a crime, typically theft or another offense. The disposition of null prosequi means that the prosecution decided not to pursue this charge further. This could be due to a lack of evidence, cooperation from witnesses, or other factors, resulting in the charge being dismissed without a conviction. Possession of controlled counterfeit substance without prescription. This charge indicates possession of a counterfeit drug resembling a controlled substance classified under Schedule I or II, which are categories for drugs with high potential for abuse and dependence, e.g., narcotics or stimulants. The term third offense implies prior convictions for similar charges, which increases the severity and classification to a Class C felony. The sentence was probation for 48 months, meaning that Wells avoided prison time but had to comply with specific probationary terms, such as regular check-ins and refraining from illegal activities during this period.
Domestic with assault, 110 Benhill Road, 110 Benhill Road, off Beach Creek Road.
10-4, is there any lower end guy that can get that?
6.
We're practically on scene right now with the shooting.
Heading out to 110 Benhill Road off Beach Creek. Have a domestic with assault.
10-4, been around. 4336, I'll get you going.
Both parties are intoxicated. The female is refusing to leave the residence. They're in a verbal at this time. A unit route to Benhill Road. We're advised that there are 4 small children in the residence. There's also a couple other parties. She's in the back bedroom. Advised there's not a door that locks. I was advising the male may be walking down the road. Gray shirt and blue jeans.
Next. Possible direction of travel.
Not sure. Advised he's very intoxicated. Female laid the phone down, walked away from it. Sounds like the male's back in the residence. She's yelling, "Ow, and stop."
The City County unit prepared a copy of Bolo. Bolo for a white GMC Sonoma Utah tag. But from 110 Benhill Road, headed towards Church Hill. Reference to a domestic. Male intoxicated. He was called back in. Their sergeant advised we can clear the perimeter.
Describe abuse. Use additional sheets of paper if necessary and attach to petition. Describe abuse. Stalking or assault include, if applicable, information about abuse or fear of abuse to your child, Ren, personal property, or animals. He drinks and throws things. I'm afraid of being hurt. He is abusive physically and mentally toward me. I am afraid for my children and myself. My mother fears he is going to hurt her, cause she is staying in her camper on the property. Where and when did this happen? 110 Benhill Road, Rogersville, TN 37857. Describe any weapons used. Blank. I asked the court to make the following orders after the hearing. Check all that apply. No contact. Please order the respondent to not contact me or our children under 18, either directly or indirectly by phone, email messages, text messages, mail, or any other type of communication or contact. Stay away. Wediga. Please order the respondent to stay away from my home, my workplace, or from coming about me for any purpose. Image 2. Affidavit of complaint. I, the affiant named below, after being sworn, state under oath that on or about October 14th, 2020, in Hawkins County, Tennessee, Donald Wesley Wells committed the offense of domestic assault 3913111, possession of a handgun while under the influence 39171321, unlawful possession of a weapon 39171307. I further state under oath that the essential facts constituting the offense the sources of my information, and the reasons why this information is believable and reliable are as follows. On 101420, deputies were dispatched to 110 Benhill Road, Rogersville, TN 37857, for a domestic with assault. Upon turning onto Benhill Road, I observed a white GMC Sonoma pulling onto Beach Creek Road. I turned my floodlights on, revealing a male behind the wheel, later identified as Donald Wells. Deputies proceeded to the scene and spoke with the victim Candace Bly and 2 witnesses, Jose Roman and Candace Harrer. Bly stated that her husband Donald Wells had left in a white GMC Sonoma. Shortly after, Deputy Winter advised that a white truck was coming back up the driveway. I heard the family members begin to fear for his return and heard a member utter that there was a firearm in the vehicle. A felony stop was conducted in the driveway, and Wells was detained. When detaining Wells, I observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from his person and observed him stumbling when he was picked up off the ground. Wells stated that there was a firearm in the truck, but it was a black powder pistol in the glove box. Wells went on to say that he was a felon from charges in Utah and had had something to drink that night. Deputy Winter located a firearm in the vehicle. I spoke with Bly and witnesses about the assault. Bly stated that Wells came home drunk, saw Jose in the house, and believed Bly was cheating on him. Allegedly, Wells started to argue with Jose, and Wells began to struggle with Bly. Bly was pushed down, causing damage to her left knee. Bly and witnesses stated that Wells began punching himself in the face and then left. Wells was taken to the Hawkins County Jail for booking. Affiance signature Deputy Kyle Shively, A209. Sworn to and subscribed before me on 10152022020. Address printed Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, 117 Justice Center, Dr. Rogersville, TN 37857. Phone number 423-272-4848. Case summary. Filing date January 7th, 2003. Case type criminal. Case status closed. Defendant date of birth May 3rd, 1982. Address 11533 Lundquist Road, Grantsburg, Y54840. Branch ID 1. DA case number 2003 BT 00000004. Responsible official Michael Gableman. Prosecuting agency district attorney. Prosecuting agency attorney Angela Baranek. Defendant owes the court $0. Charges. A. Count 1. Statute 947.01. Description disorderly conduct. Severity misdemeanor B. Disposition guilty no contest. Count 2. Statute 941.21c. Description intentionally point firearm at person. Severity misdemeanor A. Disposition dismissed on prosecutor's motion. Count 3. B. Statute 941.21c. Description intentionally point firearm at person. Severity misdemeanor A. Disposition dismissed on prosecutor's motion. Count 4. Statute 946.411. Description resisting or obstructing an officer. Severity misdemeanor A. Disposition dismissed on prosecutor's motion. Explanation of charges in detail. Disorderly conduct count 1. This charge, classified as a misdemeanor B, involves behavior that disrupts public order, such as fighting, causing disturbances, or any conduct considered disruptive or offensive. The guilty no contest disposition means that Candace Bly either admitted guilt or chose not to contest the charge. Intentionally pointing a firearm at a person counts 2 and 3. These charges, classified as misdemeanor offenses, involve intentionally aiming a firearm at another individual, which is considered a serious offense even if the weapon isn't discharged. Both counts were dismissed on the prosecutor's motion, likely due to lack of evidence, cooperation, or other legal considerations. Resisting or obstructing an officer count 4. This charge, also a misdemeanor A, involves obstructing or resisting law enforcement in the performance of their duties. Like the previous charges, this count was dismissed on the prosecutor's motion. The dismissal suggests that these charges were not pursued further in court. The guilty plea for disorderly conduct, however, indicates acceptance of some level of accountability for disruptive behavior.
We begin tonight with new information just into the newsroom. The father of Summer Wells has been arrested for driving while under the influence. According to the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, Donald Wells was driving in the wrong lane while intoxicated last night. During the traffic stop, Wells admitted to officers that he had been drinking following an argument with his wife. During the stop, officers found an open container in his vehicle and he failed a field sobriety test. He was released from the Hawkins County Jail earlier this morning. Wells' daughter Summer has been missing since this past May and has been the subject of national attention ever since.
Breaking news from News Channel 11.
The father of missing Hawkins County 5-year-old Summer Wells was arrested on Saturday night. Thank you for joining us on News Channel 11 and ABC Tri-Cities this morning. I'm Ansley Daniel. Dawn Wells was reportedly arrested for driving under the influence. According to Sergeant Betty Crawford with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, Wells is facing multiple charges, including a DUI, having an open container, violation of financial responsibility, as well as other charges. Wells is currently being held on a $5,750 bond. Now, there are no further details regarding his arrest that have been released at this time, but his daughter, Summer Wells, was last seen on June the 15th near their home in the Beach Creek community of Hawkins County. This morning, the Amber Alert for Summer remains active and ongoing, and we were told that it's going to stay that way until she is found. If you have any credible information regarding Summer's whereabouts, you are asked to contact the TBI immediately at 1-800-TBI-FIND or tips to TBI at tn.gov.
Is any of the family persons of interest?
Everybody's a person of interest till we find Summer. The most important thing is find Summer. That's what it's all about. That's why we're doing the ground searches, the aerial searches, and finding her is first and foremost.
On today's episode of What's Going On with Shipping, a sea change for Sea Lift.
Hi, guys. Hey, Paula. I am doing good. I'm doing well today. I'm like not in the mood to get off of here yet. I don't even have that many viewers, but if you want, we can watch another one of these videos I made, or we can move on to something else. I say we watch another one because these were really good. I want to get through them. And I'm going to come back with more. Did it overflow?
I got it.
I'm sorry.
Guess we're spilling coffee all day, huh?
And then I'm going to come back and do the rest of Duty Run at some point tomorrow. But I have other stuff I want to cover too. So I'll probably do another 2 or 3 lives tomorrow if I feel like it. I'll do Gaming's Live.
More than 100 personnel and 41 agencies have been involved in the search for Wells since she was reported missing from her home in the Beach Creek community Tuesday night.
Concerned that this could be an abduction at this point after so much time has passed.
Everything's on the table. I mean, we're looking at everything, crossing every T, dotting every I, and turning every stone. That's why we have 2 different operations. Captain's operation is search and rescue. Law enforcement operation is to look into this incident and find Summer.
Is the father's criminal record relevant in this investigation?
No, sir.
I've also heard there's been speculation of the siblings in the household. Just wasn't sure if you're able to elaborate on the siblings at all.
They have 3 others besides Summer.
Older, younger,
Older.
sisters?
Older.
One more question, guys. Anybody have another question? Okay.
I had a question. We've heard about issues with communications between search teams regarding lack of cell coverage as well as the radios. Can you elaborate on that? What those issues have been and how they've impacted the search?
Well, Captain, he can relate to that as far as law enforcement. We can't hardly communicate at all on the radios, and cell phones are out of the question, but thanks to AT&T and Verizon, he can tell you about that. They've been a big help to us. Go ahead.
Elaborate on that real quick. AT&T and Verizon both have bought cell phone service boosters to our command post to help try to utilize cell phone coverage, which is still very spotty for most of the area. Radio communication between ground crews and also aerial aviation has been very difficult due to the state that our radio system's in at this time. For ground crew operations, we're having to utilize anywhere from 4 to 6 different radio channels to make sure we have the coverage where everybody's accounted for.
Real quick, when you said that the search area you covered was about a mile, did you mean a square mile or a radius around the residence?
That is going to be a radius from around the residence from the last point of her household.
Thanks everybody for being here. Just to clarify, ground search efforts end around 8 o'clock. However, if we do receive any phone calls giving us a credible lead, we do follow up on those leads throughout the night. Thanks for being here. Any updates will be posted on our Twitter feed, and we'll update you again as soon as we have something available. Thank you.
Tonight marks 5 weeks in the disappearance of 5-year-old Summer Wells. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says they've received more than 1,000 tips.
A Midwest rescue group will return to the region this weekend. Their goal to once again help crews search for Summer. Tonight, we're learning more about the challenges that rescuers faced in the initial ground search. News Channel 11's Ansley Daniel joins us live from our Kingsport newsroom.
Ansley, Hawkins County leaders are expected to address one of the main issues in a meeting tomorrow, right?
Josh and Sarah, even before Summer Wells' disappearance, the radio systems and lack of cell service were hot-button issues in Hawkins County, with some people not able to reach 911 at times, and even those who use that radio system for EMS and first responder services not able to communicate with each other. After this search for Summer expanded, those issues were highlighted, even brought up during press conferences from law enforcement and search leaders. The operations on the ground have been a topic for county officials in several different meetings now, and tomorrow, how those issues impacted that ground search is expected to dominate the conversation at a public safety committee meeting. In an interview with News Channel 11 last week, the incident commander of search operations, Captain Tim Coop, said Washington and Sullivan counties and the state bringing in equipment to extend that signal made all of the difference.
The only thing that hindered this search operations at the start for the first several days was radio communications. Beforehand, there's no way we could have done the search operations and covered the amount of ground we covered with the peace of mind knowing that if something happened, we could get them help. The command structure could get them help until that radio system was there.
While there have been issues for years, in December of 2019, that radio system failed, and after that, those who used the radio systems reported clicking and static noises during phone calls. Neither the Public Safety Committee chair nor the county's EMA director were available for interviews today. While the search for Summer Wells is not an agenda item tomorrow, it is expected to come up in each director's report. That meeting is set for tomorrow at 3 p.m. Live in the Kingsport newsroom, Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.
Ansley, thanks. Now, if you have any information that can help investigators, call 1-800-TBI-FIND or email the address that's on your screen.
All right, that video ain't done, but how about if we start with that video tomorrow? I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I went to one of my Candace Wells folders and I had found some interesting stuff from Candace that I had forgotten about. Apparently, this is after the Benny blow up, is what I have it labeled. Let's go back and listen to the games that Candace was playing while Dawn went to jail. This was
you need to go down
after. I'm just going to click through the videos.
Down to the sheriff's office and talk about some of the YouTube crap and have them to tell them about the mail that's coming in there and explain to them what
my
some
lawyer
YouTubers
is on that shit.
Something about mail. Let's go to the next one.
What's up, Candace?
This is from Outlaw Trucker. He used to visit Brooks's channel quite often.
What's up, Candace?
Hey, look, Candace. I want to tell y'all right now, I do not have no phone but my own damn phone. I don't know what the fuck everybody's been trying to pull y'all shit, but when I call Donnie's phone, it goes straight to voicemail.
Well, Benny called it earlier and it was disconnected. All right. Time to it.
All right, yeah, it's disconnected because there's no time on it. It's dead. There's nothing there.
Right, Candace, and there's also a thing called a cloud that all that data's in. That metaverse doesn't go away, honey.
Okay, but look, what I'm telling you is if TBI and FBI and the Sheriff's Department comes to me, and asks me for that phone or wants to get that phone, they are more than welcome to have that phone. But they have not come to me for that.
Candace, you need to take it to them. Don't just wait on them.
All right, hold on.
No,
We
no,
just-
no, no, it don't work like that.
We just want to know who has it. That's what we're trying to find. Who has it?
I personally don't have it, but
does
it
Chris
is
have
in
it?
law enforcement's hands somewhere.
Okay,
And
Candace,
that's all I can tell you.
I'm glad,
All right.
honey, because that's some bad
Is that-
stuff.
Candace, is it?
But I'm
Chris'
tired of y'all
possession?
calling me a liar.
Candace.
No, I just said if you're going to tell me fuck you, I'm going to tell you fuck you. Doesn't mean I don't
No,
have none.
I told y'all fuck you because y'all think that I'm about Ernie and shit. I'm not about any of these YouTubers.
Candace,
I'm
we're-
about my daughter and my daughter only. And if y'all don't like it, then y'all can kiss my ass.
Honey,
We
it's not
understand you,
fighting.
Candace. Candace, we understand. Did you give it?
Well, the way you're doing it, Candace, you might hang yourself. We're helping you. All right.
How am I going to hang myself when I ain't did nothing wrong?
The evidence you're laying.
What evidence? What evidence? Tell me.
That phone Tim brought you has got
The
some
phone
dirty
Tim
shit
brought
on
you.
it.
Did you give it to Chris?
I don't know what. Hey, look, I don't know what his phone's got. I have not opened his phone. I ain't looked at his phone, and I passed it on to the upper hand.
Okay. So who's that? Chris? Does Chris have the phone?
I'm not naming names. I'm not allowed to name names. I was told not to name names.
Okay.
That's all right.
We appreciate your honesty, Candace. That's all we want.
That's what we're trying to find is honesty in
But
this
I'm not
case.
going to sit up here and let Benny bash me and say that I've been lying and I got this phone when I don't have this phone.
Okay.
Candace,
I
I'm
believe
going to
you don't
say
have
this
it.
to you, and I'm going to say this once. Do not talk to Benny. I am not on Benny's panel. I'm on my other friend's panel. So don't be accusing me of shit.
Okay. Let me tell
And we-
you, I'm sorry for that, okay?
And we don't back Benny here.
That dragon. She started over on Libby with a different name. She used to do diamond paintings. She used to come on panels quite often under a million different names with a million different pictures. Sometimes she would use her own picture, come on videos. She was really fucking big on Prayer Garden. I don't like that girl. Even to this day. She always wanted to involve herself and fight with people. And this is a woman with a missing child. We don't know for fact that Candace didn't have to answer to none of them. I agree, Paula. That's what I was just getting ready to say. She said law enforcement had the phone, right? We still don't know if Candace is guilty or innocent. I have big reservations about Candace, but in the back of my mind, I still have reservations of whether Dawn was at work or not. He didn't set something up or have something in play or owe somebody money. I feel like searching them woods as many times as they've searched over the last 4 years in all seasons that they would have found her. I truly think Summer was abducted or handed off. However, it isn't none of these people's business where anything is, and this dragon really gets on my fucking nerves. I wish I could remember all her names. She's a fucking troublemaker. Huge. And I'm betting she's still out around.
No. I
Okay.
love Benny, y'all. But Candace, I'm worried about you, and he is a predator. And when we see a predator, when we've got that under our belt with so much experience, and there's someone that's about to go up into that gator's mouth, so to speak, we want to tell
Man,
you the other
I'm
way.
not
You know,
scared of Ernie, y'all. Ernie's the least of my worries.
he is a predator, Candace. He's all over you
He
right
probably
now.
is
He's gonna
he
get
probably is
something
a predator. Just like a whole lot of
Yeah.
people are predators.
that was my thing, is like, don't.
But I'm
please
not
don't
I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about
Okay.
no predator. I stand my own.
Okay.
We just want you to be careful around him, okay? That's
And
all
I do
we're
care
asking.
about my daughter, and I do love my daughter, and I do wish and pray every day she's back here.
That's what I want to hear. Thank
And
you.
I love all my kids. I would never leave them anywhere in distress anywhere. If I knew where Summer was, I'd be there right now
Yes.
getting her.
I believe you, Candace.
I do
But I don't like being accused of something I did not do, Candace.
I'm telling you, I'm sorry. And if you can't accept that because I was angry when y'all said what y'all did, it really, you know what really irks me? Is all these YouTubers go on here, oh, Ernie's doing this, oh, Benny's doing this, oh, this guy's, oh, Paragar's doing it. Man, I'm tired of hearing all this shit. Why don't everybody just get along and fucking look for her and care about her and fuck all the bullshit?
Candace, listen to me, please.
That's what pisses me off.
We're here to take Ernie down. He is a sexual predator. We want him off.
But wait a minute. How do we not know that? How do we not know? Just saying. I'm not saying for true facts. I don't know facts. But how do we not know for facts that Ernie doesn't fit into this program somewhere?
Candace,
He lied about everything. That's how I
he
know.
groomed his 11-year-old niece on his live, and he took it.
I seen that. I'm not blind.
Okay.
The predator.
But the thing of it is, Candace, a lot of us would like to come over and help. Okay. But the thing of it is, the law's going to stop us.
We can hope so. I pray for Summer that Candace and Dawn are both innocent and that this was an abduction, because it's really grotesque to think that somebody's parents could be responsible for a child being missing for 4 years. My hope and prayer is that Candace and Dawn are innocent. At the end of this, that's what my prayer is. One of them, after Summer be found.
From trying to go over there and try to find. Okay.
Well, there's one thing that I know in this world is my daughter was kidnapped away from my properties. That I know for a fact. And nobody can tell me any different.
So
my daughter, I've known my daughter for 5 years. She would never leave that property. She would never venture down the driveway away from there at all. Somebody had to come up and get her.
I believe
how do you know that, Candace?
How do I know that? I know that in my heart, man.
Okay, so when in the timeline is she away from the home where she could have gotten, kidnapped?
She was never away from the home. She might have went out by the basement door, but she was never away from the home.
All right. I got a question, Candace. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I got a question. Okay. If one of the puppies start running off, will she chase and run down that puppy?
No, she would not. She would wait for it to come back.
Okay. That's what I thought about Summer when I seen in her. She would not walk off or run off on anywhere from that whole
Never,
hill.
never, ever.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up.
None of my kids live at home. My kids will always stay around the home.
Candace, I have to say this. May I say something, guys?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Candace, the thing is Ernie is a predator, and though we don't have it out here, he's got a long paper trail with some bullshit, okay?
Sorry about that, Benny.
Hey, Benny, here's what you...
Okay, okay, you tell me what... No, y'all tell me what person does not have a history or a past.
Hey, you're right, Candace. All of us do, but here's the thing.
How do you know she was kidnapped, Candy?
Fucked up.
Look, Benny, I ain't talking to you right now because I'm really upset with you right now.
I'm upset with you too.
Later, dude.
You need to turn that phone in. Both of y'all need to turn that data in. Huh?
I don't have no phone but my own that I'm on right now.
Why don't you have Donnie's phone anymore?
Benny, she said she gave it to somebody higher up with Ellie, she said.
Did that happen in the past 24 hours?
Look, that's been over like freaking 3 weeks ago.
We just talked about the phone 3 weeks ago, Candy, and you had it on the shelf in the plastic bag, remember?
Yeah, and then after I talked to you that day, it was gone that day.
Was it?
Yeah. You don't talk to me on a regular...
I have a problem with that. Why did she wait to talk to Benny to turn the phone into somebody? Why did it take Benny to prompt her to turn in a phone that Tim was stealing and downloading? Especially when she's out here stating she doesn't trust him. They just did a search. Grandma was on the news. And Candace then went to Benny and said she didn't want him there or trust him. So why wouldn't you have turned that phone in prior? That's always bothered me.
Basically, Benny, you don't know.
I sure do know.
Hey,
No,
Benny,
you sure the fuck don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I've been on your panel before, once before.
Yes, ma'am.
You can answer this for me. Is Ernie or is Ernie not a fucking sexual predator, Benny?
He is a sexual predator. Absolutely.
Thank you,
thought we
Benny.
already went
Hell
through that
yeah.
bullshit.
You're not good at this. Gang, gang, gang. Yes, because Ernie is a piece of shit.
But anyway, Benny can't really talk about him right now, so.
I can't talk about him right now.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Well, I didn't know that, Benny.
I just appeal.
I'm sorry.
This is the deal, y'all. It's a race right now. It's a race to get that information to the TBI. Whoever gets it there first is going to be looked at a little bit differently than the one that didn't get there first. So, I mean, look, like Candace, I already know you looked through the phone. You told me you didn't. I already know you did. When you got his
I didn't
wallet
look
back,
through the
you said
phone.
you was
Tim
gonna go
Mullins
through
did,
that
you
phone.
dumb fucker. Get it right.
What's that? You told somebody you went through that phone.
Oh,
you also told somebody you gave that phone away, that you don't have that phone no more, Candy. You need to tell the truth about that phone, Candy.
Benny, she left.
See?
Look, what I said is I don't give a fuck about what Ernie says. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. The only thing I give two fucks about is finding my daughter.
That's real, baby. That's real.
That's right.
I couldn't get on the glare. I don't know why I couldn't get on the glare for some reason. I don't know why. I tried.
Yeah.
Sometimes the internet connections, sometimes the technical difficulties won't allow you to connect, and sometimes it does have issues.
Well, no, they wanted me to pay like $4.99 or something like that to get on there, and I don't have that kind of money.
Oh.
I wonder if you.
Let me go see. Is my mic on? Yeah. Let me go see if I can find her on the glare. She went on the glare. Hold on. That was under summer. There she is. Oh, hold on. I have it, but I have it edited. It's not too long, I don't think. I guess we're going to be here a little bit. Let's watch her on the glare.
I don't really want to say a whole lot of names, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to sit out there and say Tim Mullins.
Okay. Yeah, I know about Tim Mullins.
Donnie's jacket, his keys to his car, his wallet, and all that.
Okay.
Okay, so I said, "Where's Donnie's phone?" He goes, "Oh well, he must have took it into the court with him." And knowing in my mind, you can't take a phone into the courthouse.
Okay.
You can't do that. Not in Hawkins County, you can't.
2
Yes.
weeks later.
2 weeks later, after Tim finally gave the phone up, after he recorded everything off of Donnie's phone onto his computer, pictures, text messages, whatever, he recorded it all on his laptop, and then he finally gave me the phone.
Okay. So 2 weeks later, so the phone ended up in your possession 2 weeks later.
Yes, it did.
Okay. Now,
Okay, then I took the phone and I gave it to the uppers. And I have not touched that phone or talked on that phone since.
you gave it to the who now?
I can't personally say who I gave it to, but I give it to the uppers.
Okay,
Like,
did you give it?
It was given to me wrapped up off in a plastic bag. You can pretty much say that, yeah.
All right. Is it a private investigator?
I can't say. I'm not allowed legally to say.
So, and has that phone been in your possession since then?
No, sir.
Are you in possession of the data that was downloaded from that phone by Tim Mullins? Has he shared that information with you?
No, sir. Not at all.
Okay, he has not shared that information with you.
No. I haven't talked to Tim Mullins over 2.5 weeks.
Okay. Return that data into law enforcement?
The only thing Tim told me was that he downloaded everything off that phone onto his laptop. Okay, let me say this. If TBI or FBI or law enforcement asked me for the phone, I would tell them where it is, but they have not asked me for that.
There's another question about the phone. There's a phone that you said that was in your possession when you spoke to Chris McDonough, and you said that there was a phone that was still in your possession.
No, that was the phone. That was the phone the time that I talked to Chris McDonough. And then after I got done talking to Chris McDonough, that was my phone and Donnie's phone that TBI and FBI already took everything off of.
Okay. Now, the YouTube account, there was a YouTube account. You had your YouTube account, but then there was the Don and Candace YouTube account, right? That was on Donnie's phone, right?
I'm not so sure about that because Tim's made a few different ones.
So my point of this was she got on the glare. Now I messed my other video up. But you know what? Since we're here and this is what we're listening to, and I'm not really in the mood to get off yet, I'm going to add a page right here. We're going to go, I'll mark something off my list that I wanted to show you guys. I want to go listen to Tim Mullins. The only time we got a really good feel of Tim Jesus, which one? I think it was the longer one. Let me see if this is Candace or Tim. I want you to listen to this motherfucker's theatrics. He talks like he's creating a movie. And okay, go tell your mom. Hold on a minute, guys.
Together, and you can't, like, the numbers will never lie. The numbers could never lie. But they're all the time stretched.
Guys.
The numbers way.
I don't know who he's talking to here. There's two videos, one with him and Candace and one with him and Tim. Let me make sure I have the right video. My grandson came and he wants candy from my husband. We keep candy in the room sometimes. And he comes up and tries to rob us when he ain't allowed to have any. It's like 11 o'clock at night. You ain't getting no candy, kid?
Past the envelope. Like, at 3:30, what did he say he did? Ran outside, threw his tools in the car, right? And headed home. What do you mean you were headed home at 3:30 going 90 miles an hour? You would have been there by 4:30 at the very latest. That's all.
Times, we're not worried about the times. This is getting to a point.
Hour. take your call until almost 6:30. That's 2 hours. So what that means is that essentially, if he's throwing his tools in the car at 3:30 to rush home, Tim, from 3:30 until 6:30, almost squeak a whole nother hour out of it. 3 hours, John is involved in the knowledge of what's going on, making a call, but still not home yet after 3 hours.
Keep in mind, I'm not listening for the phone information, the video information, none of that. What I want you to listen for are a few things. One, Penny's involvement with the PIs, which to me was odd because she backed off from them and refused to talk to them. I don't know why. And two is Tim's creepiness. To me, Tim is acting. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. We all have to play our parts, he tells Benny. As if he's in a theater. That's always been a main concern to me. Is he out here for fame, even though he's not showing it and gets weird and doesn't want nobody talking about the Wells? Speaking of which, the AI channels that are coming out, what I told you all I was going to wait for a couple days to show you, and I want you to go see it. Go to Crimeville, I think is the name of it. Look in the comment sections. You'll see all of the comments hearted except for the ones that attack Dawn and Candace Wells. You know what that tells me? Tim Mullen is behind all them channels. Tim, we're sick of your shit. But I want you to pay attention to just how animated Tim gets and talks as if he's in a play writing a script for a movie.
What do you mean? Once I heard him say, or maybe it was 4:30, something like that. Okay, even 4:30, so that takes away that extra hour. It still puts it back at 2 hours. We know this. You can never, 2 hours is enough to take down the World Trade Center building. That happened in 60 minutes. Like, clearly, whoever, like, 2 hours is too much time. But you see how you could almost burn 3 hours. Like, well, maybe it was 4:30, I don't know. Okay, well, let's say we take that hour back. Make the 3 hours work. You could never make 3 hours work. So let's give them the hour back and let's make it 2 hours. You still cannot make an hour drive at 90 miles an hour take 2 hours. There's a lie in there somewhere. And why is there a lie? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know why she might not want me to listen to you. Who's that, Candace? Yeah. And let me tell you what, Tim. Trying to separate the Tim and Benny thing, you know. I promise you, Tim, I learned how to tie my shoes when I was 3 years old. Like it's, I'm looking at it, this is the way I've been looking at it, Tim. Like, there's no plausible way based on the numbers that we've all heard. And that's all I wanted to do last night was it wasn't even anything about yes or no. I wanted her to tell me numbers last night. I want her to tell me numbers. Tell me the numbers again. Because if I ask you all the same questions you've already answered with numbers, those numbers should still be the same. If those numbers change, well, now I've got to compute why answer A back then isn't the same as answer A now. It's different. And then try to compute why what doesn't change, numbers, why it's changed. Should be no reason for any of these facts that ever change. Let me tell you what, when she was bitching about you at the phone last night, she said and I have it on recording. She said, Tim took Donnie to jail. And then Donnie gave Tim his phone to bring back. So when we asked about the phone,
The problem is here. The problem just got here.
acted like he had just found the phone. Yeah. So I'm like, well, why would Tim do that? Well, I don't know. And I mean, I texted and said I found it in the car is what I texted, which I had found it in the car because that's where it has been. But no, like I said, I did not want to venture.
Hey guys, I'm going to step away for about 5 minutes. I'm going to leave this play. Keep listening for the theatrics. My son needs me downstairs. I'll be right back.
Into any of the territory, but this is Dawn's, and we had already done it once, and it wasn't working. So I had permission to do it because we had already tried it, and I thought, I've got to get it backed up. He asked you to do it? We tried it at his house. So he already knew, because she made her and Chris make it seem like
Stonewall.
Donnie was completely unaware or knowing, like you had a nefarious reason for downloading the stuff from the phone. Don would not have known that. Don would not have known I did it that day because Don wasn't thinking. But because we had already tried to do it at his house, I did her phone that day, but his phone kept stalling and wouldn't work, and so he never got his pictures and stuff downloaded. So I wanted to get his pictures and stuff downloaded, and then finally I just said, I'll just do a complete download back up to the phone through this goofy iPhone, whatever it is I had to put on my computer. And I did just a complete back down. Then I set the phone down, and I'll tell you exactly what I was going to do. That phone would stay there if nobody had ever asked. And the second that Donnie got out of jail, I'd have handed it to him. So here's your phone. Because that is his private phone. Right, now, check this out. We're all on the same team. And this is what really messed, and pardon my French, this fucked Candace up when I said it. I said, why would you and Chris be upset that Tim downloaded the information off the phone if we're all on the same team and we just want Summer to be found? Why would that be a problem? And they couldn't explain that to me. I said, what are you, because it seems like what are you afraid of Tim seeing on the phone? Like, why is it a problem? It should be no problem. Like, the open terminology is backed up the phone. Backed up. Download some previous. Backed up the phone. I had to try it in 2 or 3 different ways because I was trying to stick apps on in order to get it. All you got to do is download iTunes. Well, that's what I finally found out. Remember, I'm a Droid guy. I can stick my Android up there and just boom, I got it. And this thing, it was like stubborn, and it would give me 10 pictures and then freeze the phone. So I'd reboot the phone and get 5 more pictures, reboot the phone. And then I was getting frustrated, and I thought, my goodness, he probably wants his contacts, he probably wants his messages. I said, and then that's when I did a little Google search and put iTunes on there and just did a full backup. And that was it done. What could have been are we worried that Candace might have done something with the phone? You mean myself? Yeah. Just a second. Hang on just a second. Okay, thank you. I'm in the store with my parents helping me and stuff. Instinct. I didn't think it through far enough, except I finished what we started to do, whatever it was at his house. I wanted to have it. It's his phone. When he got out, I wanted him to have his stuff. That's his stuff. So, no, I agree. There were too many fingers, too many people walking in and out of that house. Steal that phone from Candace. I mean, these were going probably through my head at 10 miles an hour. But he was like, this is his stuff, and I'm his friend. I'm going to back up his stuff for him, period. Yeah, that's the motive. Are you able to look at the data that's in the backup? I think it's just one gigantic file. I'm sure there's probably some way to hack into it. I'm not really interested. Well, so let me ask you a question. Why wouldn't we be? I told her I was going to give her the backup. No, I mean, hold on. But give her the backup her computer, too. Do we feel like giving that backup to the TBI or the FBI is a necessity? I do believe at this point that she's got phones, she can do the same thing. I've got to stay out of the case. If I venture into the case, how big is that file? I don't know. Is it megs or is it gigs? No. Oops, sorry. Getting ice cream. I don't know. I didn't even look at the size. It's just once it was done, I went filing. I got his pictures, and his pictures I was able to get separate. I did not all of them, some of them wouldn't work, but I got most of all his memory pictures. I mean, you see what I'm saying, right? Like your team Summer just like me. Like I understand. I understand that, Tim. But the issue is that if there's something on the phone and you've downloaded it and you've not turned it over, you're complicit. Well, no, no, it's on your computer. You don't know it's in the phone. I did not delete anything. I understand that. It's phone for him. That's all I did. But so what I'm saying is that we know that they're using the forensics. So if they used his forensics before, trying to pinpoint what he did prior and during the time she was missing, they certainly would want to know what's on the phone afterwards. And I feel like there's a real due diligence. There's a real due diligence to make sure that they can access that information, because you want to be able to at least say the answer is not in his phone or the answer is in his phone. But now we've got their business. If she wants to turn his phone into whoever, all I told him was, starting when if you see anything after he went to prison, that's me trying to get his phone back up for him. That's all. Anything, nothing's been changed, nothing's been deleted. There's possibly an app I was trying to do that I pulled off of his, you search for an app to try to figure out how to get back up, stuff. And if that doesn't work, and I deleted that, but so, okay. Nothing's been changed on that phone. I believe it hasn't. But so the issue is that you have a copy of that data and she has a copy of the data. I've already urged her to turn it into the TBI, and she's going to drink a bottle of whiskey today. She's never going to give that another thought. So my point is that you have the only active copy that could ever potentially reach the hands of the investigators. If you don't turn that in, I mean, if they wanted it and they specifically said they don't know it exists. They don't know you have. They don't even know you have access to it. I mean, Chris was turning it in for free. Chris isn't turning in nothing. Chris told me that within a week, and this was 2 months ago, we had a long chat about Boogie, Jody Sue, and Andy. And I said, you got to get Jody Sue and Boogie. Act like he had just found the phone. Yeah. So, when he got out, I wanted him to have it. Trying to pinpoint what he did prior to trying to get his phone back up for him. That's all. Is that you have a copy of that data and she has a copy of the data. I've already urged her to turn it into the TBI, and she's going to drink a bottle of whiskey today. She's never going to give that another thought. So my point is that you have the only active copy that could ever potentially reach the hands of the investigators. If you don't turn that in, I mean, if they wanted it and they specifically said they don't know it exists. They don't know you have. They don't even saying, Chris was turning it in. Chris isn't turning it in nothing. Chris told me that within a week, and this was 2 months ago, we had a long chat about Boogie, Jody Sue, and Andy. And I said, you got to get Jody Sue a Boogie and get them polygraphed. Now, Jody Sue isn't probably going to be a candidate for the polygraph by virtue of her chemical situations. But the son is. He's 19. Oh, I promise you within the week, we're going to have them questioned and polygraphed. Man, that man ain't turning in none of this shit, Tim. I am sure of it. I don't know what's going on with Chris and Trudy, but it can't be all of these complications with Trudy and these things that they're doing on WJHL and all these things they're stretching the truth about finding remains. Like, man, there is no integrity in any of that shit they're doing. Let me tell you what, at the time, Trudy.
I agree with Benny. I feel like they're going to start talking about Penny. That might have been with Candace that they talked about Penny, where Chris refused. I turned my fan on really low. If you can't hear me, let me know. I'm dying here. I just had a huge coughing fit. Look, my makeup's running. My eyes were watering. I went downstairs and my son asked me to hit his bong. So I did. And I died. But I came back to life in here. But anyways, Chris and Trudy were playing a lot of fuck shit games, and I don't understand what their fight with Penny was. I was never aware that Penny even spoke to them people. Apparently, there was a fight between them, and then Penny refused to speak to them again. That's what you caught in the phone call with Candace. Didn't Dawn get to his house around the same time? Yes, they were right behind him. Andy was right behind Dawn. Yes, Paula. It was the same time. But anyways, Benny, if you're out there and want to grab a link, I'd really love to know why Penny and the PIs couldn't talk to each other or wouldn't talk to each other or why they were fighting. I think that's a valid question. Since you and Tiffany attacked Penny so hard, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on Penny today, since you've been gone for a year and then came back a new attitude. I think these things lingering are still important because this is what was going on when you left. You can't leave them just hanging there. This isn't an attack, but I've gone over these how many times and I know you've seen it. So I would like to know what the connection or the fight disconnect is between the PIs and Penny. I think it's important. It's odd to me Penny wouldn't talk to them. It's odd to me the amount of creators the PIs went to. Especially when the creators shouldn't have anything to do with Summer being missing and their focus should be on Rogersville. Right? It's just odd. All of their behavior to me is odd.
Gets together with Candace and Shannon and foul as shit to Prayer Garden or whoever is bashing the wells that night. That's not her child. In fact, I don't even like the idea that I know she's doing it because it's completely unethical for her to sit down in a WJHL segment and call herself a private investigator. That is no longer private, right? Like, you walk into the store and I'm like, hey, Chris, you're the private investigator that tried to give up your services for free on Evelyn Boswell case last year. It's not private anymore. It's clout. They're chasing clout. That's it. If they were chasing money, they wouldn't be here anymore. You can't tell me, haven't they already taken his phone and got everything off of it? And this is just the after. Maybe they did. But then again, maybe they didn't. And the answer's in there. And we're just holding on to it. Well, they're the professionals, brother. They listen, Tim, there's no way they could know that you have that data. There is no way they could know that you backed that phone up. But you have. All they would have to do is call her and say, oh, we want that phone to look at it. I mean, if they want the phone, she's got the phone. If they don't, but that's being uncooperative. Being cooperative, I'm not being asked. But that's the thing, though. In this situation, even if we're not asked, doesn't mean that we can omit information. You have to automatically, I'm not going to tell you what you should do, but I would automatically be in a huge rush to get that data from Don's phone to the police. For what reason? Well, the main reason is because if he had something to do with the disappearance, we could know. Second reason is because if we're friends with him, our mission is to get him cleared. And if that information can clear him, why are we not in a rush to give it to him? Like, I haven't really thought of this stuff, but do you see what I'm saying? He's tucked away. They got him where he wants it. Right now, we're letting them play out their part. We gotta let them play their part. All these things, we gotta let them play it out. I still have hope that it's a time-sensitive situation. I still have hope that, let's say, for instance, if the data from that phone is the thing that could find out where this girl is, and if she's alive, she doesn't have to spend another minute living in the hell that God chose for her to live in. I mean, we could see the hell they forced her to live in on Ben Hill. It was hell. So I can't imagine that he would usher his child off to somewhere better than his own care, which his own care was shit. So we have a real dude, like, I still have hope that the girl is alive. I have to. Because at this point, like, for what? It's because I chose this little girl over my own family, and now I can't let it go. And I keep trying to find any reason to let it go, and then I encounter them, but I still can't let it go. Like, I can't get her to think she needs to take that phone in. While at the same time, I would lay off that. I really would now. I mean, I just need to lay off the whole thing. If you inch it too far, I just need to lay off the whole thing, because people have information that they're not in a rush to take to the police. I can't be involved in that no more. No, like, that's what I said. It's not my place, it's hers. That's what we gotta let it play out. We just gotta let it. If you told her, so now I'm telling you too, and good counsel. I'm telling you too. What if we get to?
Wait till he gets to the whoosh part. If he didn't when I was gone. What part are you fucking playing out, Tim? Who's playing what part? Why are you treating this like it's a movie? You hear Candace and Dawn talk about how Tim went to the psych ward because Tim's crazy. Man, I might be here all night. We might be watching all these. Like, this is for real. This man is on there. Benny's mad as fuck because Tim stole a phone, uploaded it. The PIs are calling Benny, accusing Benny of getting into the cameras. Well, we found out that was Dawn K, Candace's friend, breaking into the cameras, and the PIs are calling and accusing Benny of doing it, right? And Tim's playing parts. We got to let it play out. Let it play out, Benny. It's all cool. Tim, I have been asking you for 4 years. My first channel started just about 4 years ago. It was like November 11th, I think. I have been asking you since day one to come to my channel and grab a fucking link. You never grab nobody's link. But this is the bullshit we gotta hear. Candace talking about she sees a guy with a truck with a horse while you're playing games Why are you here? Robin made bread. That's how you got brought in. Bullshit. Who's playing what part? Was this about money for you, or did you lure Summer away the way you said, oh, puppy dogs, horsies? There's something fucking wrong with you. I don't know what it is, but in my opinion, there's something a little bit touched up here. This ain't a play. It ain't a movie. There's no parts to play out. The community, her family, all the people out here on YouTube for 4 years, relentlessly praying for this little girl, wants her found now. There's no parts to fucking play. It's not a game. You and Squall, for some reason, think this is a fucking game. Tim Mullen. That's who we're listening to, Paula. The only time we ever heard from Tim Mullen. Benny had to sneak record him. This is the man Tim is. A whole ass fucking weirdo.
To the end of this thing, and we find out that you got the data that had the answer in your computer. And we just chose to never turn it in because that's not our corner. I don't think that. How do you know? How do you know? You can't know that unless you went through. But you can't know that that's not a concern unless you went through the phone already. So if you went through the phone already, just say you went through the phone and there's nothing there. That would be an acceptable answer for me to stop asking why we're not trying to rush this shit to the police. I know it's hard for you to believe. I saw a few texts that some people sharing on Luke going, oh, you agreed, that's sharing job. But the phone had messages that came in, I didn't open them. I just basically wanted to get his pictures for him, which turned out to be a huge frustration because that goofy phone just wouldn't. You know what? I completely agree. If just removing the photos, you could have just created a Google Drive for him that you had access to and downloaded everything from the phone. I have not done that.
Or he could have not taken the phone at all, right? What was the point of Dawn even taking it to court? He knew he wasn't going to be able to use it. That phone should have stayed home or been in a police officer's custody.
But I'm saying,
y'all remember that weird stream? I think it was Summer's birthday or a holiday. Her anniversary, Tim did, where he had Dawn come up, but he kept coming up and disappearing and coming up and disappearing. Do any of you remember the story of him going into the psych ward? No, Benny, he's been in the psych ward. Then why the fuck do you got this man involved in your missing child's life? I mean, people go to the psych ward. I just fucking got out of one. I signed myself in. I'm not saying people don't go to the psych ward for help, but sometimes people are just really fucking out there. And in my opinion, Tim Mullen is really fucking out there. I don't understand his involvement in Summer's case. I don't understand what a media manager is when he's not managing a fucking thing except for Dr. Phil. But yet he's still involved, and Dawn can't seem to pull his fucking dick away from his ass. Candace is all the time saying, I can't stand Tim Mullen. This shit's weird. Tim seems like a handler or somebody who signed a contract. He's the one that came up with, what are they called? The MDAs for Cam and all of them to sign. Like he was taking charge. And to me, it seems like Ryan Finds Truth took his place. I don't know. That's my comparison of it. I never disliked. No, I disliked Benny. I dislike what he did to me with the lawsuit. However, I'm a forgiving person. I also seen Benny went through a hard time, became an addict, divorced his wife, and it is my opinion, Benny took money in to torment certain creators for a Tim Mullen. We hear Benny say he hired We Can Bring You Hope for Tim. I've played that clip. I have questions for the new Benny that he won't answer. I don't want to fight with Benny. I never wanted to fight with Benny. However, 5 lawsuits against me, for me, it seems like an attempt at silencing. I don't know exactly what it is they're trying to silence. I do have corrupt ass people in my family. I grew up with a dad who grew up with the cartel, who joined them in some sense. It's real. It's not fake. People could say what they want. I did live in Miami when I was a kid. My parents divorced. My dad used to kick my mom's ass all the time. He abused me and my sister. He would lock us in closets while he went out and did his drug dealing, and my mother worked for a man named Victor Posner, who owned RC Cola and a U.S. steel sector up here in Pittsburgh. There are companies being ran under my father's name right now with active cage codes with his information on them. My father's been dead for 3 fucking years. Ziggy's dad does windmills, and what do you know? That's what all my dad's stock is in. Ziggy lived 1 block away from my dad. Around the corner from my aunt's psychic shop. My step-on. This shit ain't a joke. I don't care who says it is. I know my fucking life. It's not a lie. And I do have criminal ties in my life in several different fucking directions because my parents were fucking crazy. People actually do live lives like that. However, my son needed a heart transplant. I got lucky. I moved away from my family, not far, but I secluded myself in my home and stayed away from them because I didn't want my children to know them. Eggplant penis head I'm fighting with right now, I promised to give at least a 3-day respite. So I'm not going to say much. But pay attention to my comment sections. I have more text proof. All of it is true. Me and my sister just had a huge conversation. Things I'm not going to relay out loud because it might help in the long run figure out why We Can Bring You Hope was fucking around with money and Robin and Tim Mullen and Cher and cracking cases so fucking much. Did they come out here with good intentions? Maybe. Maybe I'm completely fucking wrong about them because I know a lot of them. I'm hoping I'm wrong about them and that 501c3. However, it doesn't look good when you know the motherfuckers. I want answers for my friend Chester, and I want my friend Lisa found, and I want answers for Summer. You motherfuckers have destroyed my fucking life to a point. It's going to get better. And when Summer's found, I have a feeling the truth is going to come out. I'm hoping it's just money and not the actual missing child. But I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and be quiet after you done fucked with your life, with my life. In several forms, fashions, and ways. U.S. Marshals to my house ain't fucking funny, and I ain't nobody's fucking bitch, and these motherfuckers know that. Y'all better come fucking correct. You better come fucking get me. All right. we're going to get back to Benny and Tim. Benny, I have questions. Big ones.
No, like I asked them is because I understand
You're avoiding
when you backed up the phone, yeah, you exposed yourself to possibly holding the key. If it was just pictures and videos, that's one thing. There's not ever going to be, you would think, an answer to this case in the pictures and videos unless he took pictures and videos of what he could have potentially done. But you did, in fact, you grabbed other media or other, you grabbed other stuff, you grabbed other information. So I would, as a friend, say there's no good way in good conscience that you couldn't turn that into the police if we're all about Summer, because she's not going to turn it into the police. And you have to ask yourself why.
Listen, I know a lot about 501c3s because I was hoping one day to open one myself for my son when he was little. I looked a lot into it and I worked a lot with some 501c3s. I have volunteered. One is called Jamie's Dream Team. Please donate to them. They're here in Pittsburgh. They're like a smaller Make-A-Wish foundation. And they collect money and they help sick children. In this room I sit in right now, my son is grown up. If you see all the paintings on the walls, she did this. But I collected for her to do that. I went out in the middle of the street with a boot and collected. I did that sort of thing. And when I was doing that, I was looking into it. There's always a board of directors at the end of a 501c3. I know some of the names on the board of directors. One of them names is deceased now, but her granddaughter has the same name. I don't find this shit cute. Them people also are connected to organized crime, which connects to my friend Chester. This shit is not a joke to me, and that's why I didn't go nowhere. I could have left. I could have made them lawsuits go away instead of fighting the way I fought. But when you see what I'm seeing with as many people as I know out here on YouTube and in the Facebook world involved in Summer's case under hidden coats. Where's Susan Starkey? Where you at, bitch? I see you. I want you people to start looking up the names that I give you, and you will see that these names are connected into Summer's case in some way, form, or fashion. And they all connect to the same motherfuckers up here, motherfucking, with hot mics in Summer's case. I'm bold. I put my life on the line coming up here and talking the way I fucking do. Oh, I know I do. You see if I give a fuck. I'm pissed for the lawsuits Benny announced prior to me getting any paperwork the day they were filed. Like him and Linda are in each other's fucking back pockets. However, I think these people played games with Benny. It's just my assumption. I'm going to end this because I'm pissed. My blood is boiling. I'm not getting many views. Somebody else must be live or whatever. But somebody passed this along to that bearded motherfucker. Oh, by the way, I like the way you cut it, Benny. And I'm really not here to fight with you. I promise you I'm not. But I do want answers for them people up here because I do have a missing friend. And if you truly do cover true crime and have a good heart, maybe you would help me. I want my friend found. I'll share her picture. I was supposed to the other day and I forgot. But Lisa, if you're out there, I love you. Fuck Bart. Anyway, I'm bringing you home. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Peace and love.